Mic check 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Random show settings. Random show settings. Random show settings. We're back. We're here. We're ready to rock. Ready to go. Ready to pod, ready to stream, ready to yap, ready to talk, ready to hang, ready to ha ha, hee hee, lol, lamau, and everything else in between. What's going on, people? What's crack-a-lacking? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? Talk to me nice, talk to me slow, talk to me nice, talk to me slow. What's crack-a-lacking, people? I see you in the stream chat. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up everybody on the stream chat. Appreciate every single one of you. Apologies for the delay, but we're here. Apologies for the delay, but we're here. We're queer and ready to rock. Ready to freaking rock. What's going on, people? Thank you for joining me. Random show settings once again. Random show settings once again. Day 2 of 31. Day 2 of 31. Day 2 of 31. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Great to have you here once again for another episode of the Random Show, episode number 418, day 2 of 31. Hope you're good wherever you are. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody that's here. Big up everybody that's here. I appreciate every single one of you. Today's show, most of it will be dominated by Tfatk, but we'll do some other bits, of course, to kind of, you know, get you guys started, get you guys nice and limber and warmed up and all that good stuff in between. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just jump right into it. Let's just jump right into it, okay? Into it. So let's just go. Pick up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody in the stream chat right now. Big up everybody in the stream chat. First of all, first things first, because I only noticed this now because I tried to go on the site and I couldn't. But it seems like I'm going to have to switch to a new UK news platform, because the platform that I used to check for my trashy UK news, I think might have blocked me. Big up the Shade Borough. I think the Shade Borough might have blocked your kid. The Shade Borough may have blocked your kick. I tried to access the site or their page and it says user is not there. So I'm assuming I've probably been blocked. And the funny thing is about it, I didn't even say nothing too crazy. They put a post up of some black guy dating some white girl and I just said white is right. That's all I said in the comments. Like, saying white is right. Do you think that's a grounds for blocking? Everyone else says jokes in the comments, like, you know, trolley stuff. Do you think saying white is right when they're highlighting an interracial couple is a bad thing? Do you think that is do you think that's mean enough, rude enough? Do you think that's against TOS that it would result in a blocking from a Instagram page? What do you think? AZ, you're turning Austin. Why would you say that on Juneteenth? We don't celebrate that in the UK, to be fair. Juneteenth isn't a UK thing. I think it's more an African American thing, to be fair. Welcome to my white world, brother. Big up Mr. Mace. Hi AZ. Big up Nuts. What my Nuts, what's going on? Keepy, what's going on? Big up Mr. What's that? Mr. Mace. What's that dude? Tim Kennedy, so cringy. I can't wait to see that actually. I'm really looking forward to watching that with you guys. But yeah, anyway, I've been banned. Unfortunately, I've been blocked. So unfortunately, no more Shade Borough for me. Unfortunately, Shade Borough don't take too well if you say white is right under a post that features some black dude dating some white girl. The white girl happened to be, I think, Paul Scholes' daughter. That's why they put it on there. I think the other guy maybe was on Love Island. I don't know. Just thought it was a funny comment to put on there, innit? But the problem I think happened was that my comment, I think I posted it soon after they posted. So I think on those type of pages, if you post your comment quickly and you say something funny or controversial, a lot of people are going to be replying to it or saying bad things. So maybe someone reported me and then they kind of had to block me, you know? That kind of happened as well. Or they didn't want that on their page, you know? Which I understand because it's a business thing, media thing. I don't know. But it's just funny, man. It's just funny. It's just funny that someone will block you for that. But hey, What can you do? What can you do? So, because I've been blocked by the Shade Bro, I've got a new page now that I follow for my trashy UK rap black people news, which is Made You Think. Big up Made You Think 101. So the first post I want to talk about regarding what I saw in Made You Think 101 is this post right here, which I think I left a comment on as well, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I did leave a comment on there. So this post obviously is courtesy of Shade Bro 101. No, Made You Think 101, not Shade Bro 101. We're not fucking with Shade Bro no more. Fuck Shade Bro. They blocked me, so fuck them. We're all about Made You Think 101. Made You Think 101 posted this and said, ladies, touching on not holding down any man. Sorry, the ladies touching on not holding down any man who ends up in prison. They don't believe in ride or die ideology. And it's at some girl called Leo's Choice, I think, and someone called Balia LDN. Now, my comment is quite self-explanatory, but essentially I said, why is it that most urban-based podcasts, let's not just say black, but most urban-based podcasts, especially the ones that are presented by women, why do they seem to be obsessed with like relationships and sex and shit? Why is that the only topic at hand? And when it is those topics at hand, which is, you know, maybe you could say, you know, everyone has sex, everyone has relationships and shit, or is going to have one in some way, shape or form, fair enough. But if you're going to have those conversation topics, at least, or if you're going to have those type of conversations, at least make the topics interesting. At least be introspective. At least get deep, you know? At least touch on some taboo things. At least get vulnerable, you know? Talk from a real place of honesty. Maybe be a bit self-deprecating. Maybe be brutally honest about why maybe you're in your mid-30s and haven't found anybody. Why maybe no one wants to settle down with you. Why maybe you're childless. Why maybe, you know, you feel stuck. Whatever it may be. Like, start getting real. But people don't get real. It's all stupid stuff like, oh, if you go on a first date and he doesn't pay or he makes you split it, that's not a man for you. He has to be able to pay my bills. It's all these nonsense, stupid arguments. It's like this topic here. Oh, I'm not going to hold down someone that goes to prison. It's like, bro, surely this is a boring, played out, trite topic that doesn't need to be really spoken about again. But for some reason, people do. And I'm not even going to blame the people that say these type of things, the host, because I think the audience laps it up. Let's be real. The audience loves it. So there's something about these topics that the general public or people at large seem to enjoy, even though they're the same topics, just regurgitated and remixed again and again and again. Personally, I'm bored of it, but I guess other people aren't. Let's play the clip.
What do you think about the whole, like, holding your man down?
By the way, that's not my fault. For some reason, the sound is only coming out of one headphone. I think that's not my fault, right? I think my headphones are working. I think this particular clip, for whatever reason, let's double check actually. Is it that clip or is it my headphones?
Jamaica.
It's that clip. For whatever reason, that clip is only coming out of the right ear. So don't blame me. It's something wrong with the recording. It's only coming out of one ear.
What do you think about the whole, like, holding your man down?
I don't agree. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, oh,
and I always make this joke,
agree.
and I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think I'm a ride or die.
No, I don't.
She's saying it like it's controversial. She's saying as if, like, if you date somebody that goes to prison and you decide to break up with them, or you decide you're not going to hold them down and shit, that's somehow controversial. It's not. It's probably quite even in terms of people who decide to stay with their person or decide to move on. It's not that, you know what I mean? It's not that controversial. Like, and it's just a nonsense topic anyway. Like, the likelihood of you ending up with somebody that ends up in prison for a long stretch of time, you have to decide that it's very low anyway. So if it doesn't apply to you, why are you even talking about it? You know, it's like, I don't know. These topics are so fucking boring, man.
But I'm not that type of ride or die.
If you get in trouble with the law, like, you've done something bad, like, but I'm not riding or dying for you, because that means you're not the man I thought I was getting into a relationship.
Right, and you're even stupid enough to get caught. So
at the age
in
of
fact, to stay with you,
no.
I feel like the whole, and I think girls, like, they think it's, I think
what's your reward? You're sitting down every day,
waiting.
You're in your youth, you got your young years, your youth is just decreasing. Your man's in jail, like.
Your youth is decreasing. Interesting turn of phrase.
What do you get?
And are you so sure when he comes out it's gonna work.
Also, do you know how many boys I know, especially from my younger years, that were in prison, in relationships, they were messaging every single girl on the face of the earth while they were in jail.
Girl was
Men will they will cheat on you more in prison because they got nothing to do all day except talk to girls.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I gotta stop paying attention to stuff like this that I'm not interested in. But I don't know, man. I want us to elevate as people. I want us to elevate, man. I want the conversation topics to be more than this. But maybe they're addressing a need. You know, people out there want to hear these type of topics. They want to hear people that look like them, maybe the same age range as them, talk about these type of things because they're also thinking about these type of things. But I don't know, man. I just think this is a waste of time. It is a way, like talking about your young age decreasing. Surely spending an hour of your day rabbiting on about topics that don't really apply to you and have been spoken about ad nauseum, isn't really the best use of your quote unquote youth either, is it? You think? Like, just allow it. Just allow it. Who gives a shit? Like, talk about something else. I don't know. Are you having difficulties finding a job? How's your relationship with your parents? Did you lose some money recently? Did somebody scam you? Did you figure out some life hack that might be beneficial to people to learn? I don't know. Did you recently move house? How's school going? Do you regret not going to school? I don't know. Let's talk about something interesting. Let's lay it bare. Let's go that way. This sort of shit is like, if your man doesn't buy you flowers on Valentine's Day, what does that? It's like, oh my god, man. Oh my god. And I'm starting to think it's not even a black thing because I've seen clips. I follow a lot of I follow a lot of people who like Love Island, let's say, right? A lot of women and gay people on Twitter for the most part, who are usually the best to kind of follow for like funny memes and shit. And I see a lot of Love Island clips getting posted. And for the most part, a lot of people kind of love that kind of content, love that kind of stuff. You know, Love Island's like the same premise every year. All these single people go on a love quote unquote island, try and find love. They get put in weird situations, whatever. They butt heads, they fall out, they get together, they end up in love, their relationship, they break up, someone cheats on somebody. It's the same thing, right? So maybe with that show being as successful as it is, Love Island is super successful, that goes to show that maybe I'm in the minority and most people do enjoy these type of conversations. Most people do enjoy watching somebody go on a first date, watching somebody flirt, watching somebody get their heart broken, you know, watching somebody get betrayed. Like, most people enjoy this sort of relationship stuff. Maybe they can live vicariously through them. Maybe it speaks to their own situation. Me personally, I don't understand it. I don't personally get it. I wish we as people, especially the blacks, would maybe elevate and start talking about, and I'm not even saying elevate like and start talking about investments and fucking, I don't know, properties and shit. No, just, I don't know, like, just get a little bit introspective, get a little bit deeper. You know, if you're going to talk about prison shit, maybe start asking yourself, why do I always end up with guys who go to prison? Maybe get introspective, maybe start addressing some of the issues that put you, or maybe start addressing what could be the issue. What is attracting you to those type of people? Why can't you settle down with somebody that seems to be a quote unquote good guy? I don't know, maybe talk about that sort of stuff. Maybe talk about the actual, you know, details of how difficult it is to try and maintain a relationship with somebody that is in prison, visits and stuff, mental health issues, you know, whatever else it may be. Like, let's get deep into it. If not, these type of conversations are just like, ugh, shoot me in the head, shoot me in the back of the head, please. I don't want to hear it again. But big up these girls, for doing their thing. Moving on. Big up Sinners podcast. There's this clip that I saw that's going somewhat viral. Everyone was kind of yapping on about it, so I want to quickly play it and then we're going to move on to all the other stuff, right? This is the last post on this particular page. But big up Made You Think of my new Shade Borough, because Shade Borough decided to block man for whatever reason. So let's see what Sinners are talking about with this particular clip. Sinners, madness. The caption is just madness. So let's play this clip. Let me hear what they're saying.
What I like is like black man. I don't like anything else.
Speed.
Same. Let me clarify that. Yes. And I like Batman. You know, yes. And most
in South
of
London.
them, yeah, South London, North, like everywhere. And most of them, they even like to suck. Because in my mind, it's like, if you're a Batman, like, what are you doing?
Sorry,
It's real though. I've even caught a couple of them and they've
with trans teams, like
Yeah.
a couple of them.
It's even like big names. I did sign like a couple of papers sometimes.
What do you mean, like superstars?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Can be a rapper, can be, I don't know, like anyone in the industry.
Footballers?
Name some names.
I can't.
No.
Why you wanna put me in trouble? Like maybe they know, but I fucking leave. What I like is like black men. I don't like.
So I'm assuming this person's trans, most likely. I'm assuming this is a trans person and they're talking about their experience date or hooking up with black dudes. And I'm guessing a lot of famous black dudes. Some of them may be athletes, some of them may be rappers or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't really understand this type of content. Or this not content. I don't really understand these type of things. Like, I think we live in a world where everyone's really inclusive and understanding of people's sexual preferences and shit. There's not really a lot of kink shaming, I don't think. There's not even a lot of sexuality shaming or homophobia in general, I don't think, in the wider public. Maybe online some trolling exists, but you're not exactly going to get, in most metropolitan cities, you're not going to get chased down the street. You're not going to get assaulted. You're not going to get jeered. You're not going to get spat on as much as you did in the past. So I think we are getting to a good place. We're not there yet, totally, because I'm sure those issues still happen, but I think we're getting to a good place. If that's the case, I don't think it's wise, really, if we're getting to a good place where everyone's kind of comfortable with everybody, everyone lets everyone live how they want to live, love who they want to love. I'm not really for the whole like tattletale kiss and tell shit, or the fucking exposing people shit, you know? Because maybe this is a controversial thing to say, but I think if some guys want to be on a down low, let them be on a down low, innit? You're getting what you want, they're getting what they need. What's the problem? I know maybe in the wider community of LGBTQ plus folks, it's maybe not the most beneficial and helpful thing. It probably doesn't make you feel too good if you're a trans or gay person and the person you're seeing is down low and they're hiding you, they're ashamed to come out with you. Maybe behind closed doors they're all loving, and then in public they talk really bad about your community and their people and shit. I get it. It can be quite distressing. But I think people are allowed to have their secrets. You know, I think people are allowed to have their secrets. And I think stuff like, especially in the black community, people know, even this person, although the person isn't black, I'm sure they know what it can do to somebody's reputation, what it can do to somebody's image, what it can do to somebody's life if something like this is kind of said aloud or in public without the person coming forward themselves. It's just not necessary. I'm sure, weirdly enough, though, me saying this, I'm sure, weirdly enough, there are people who love to roll the dice. Because I was thinking in my head, I was wondering, like, I wonder why these people love to expose. Because I was thinking, like, if you are sucking and fucking, like, famous people, especially the ones that you like, that are your type, like, quote-unquote black good dudes and shit, right? Surely you would be apprehensive about kissing and telling, because you might ruin your chances of securing other hookups, right? That's the logical side of my brain thinking. But then as I was thinking in my head, I was like, no, actually, I bet you it's the opposite. I bet you there are some guys who actually like the thrill of it. Because this person yaps and maybe has loose lips, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna see what I go on. You know what I mean? They kind of like the idea that maybe they might get caught. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But I think it's like counterintuitive. I think it's a little bit of self-sabotage as well. Like you're in a got a good little situation. You found this niche of closeted men who are maybe famous or have money, who don't mind looking after you, who don't mind hanging out with you, that you kind of experience good times with and whatever else it may be. Just enjoy it. Just keep sucking and fucking have a good time. You don't need to get on pods and exposing people, you know? I don't think anyone's surprised to know that, oh, like, I don't know. Most people in communities where they're very, you know, they're very kind of strong views about stuff like homosexuality and stuff or whatever else it may be, or dealing with trans people, usually those people have very, you know, have a strong base of closet people in there as well. This happens in church, you know, every church I've been to, I think every church I've been to, every Baptist evangelical church I've been to, black church, has had a contract. And people in the comments can maybe attest, but every single black church I've been to in the UK, in London, has had some sort of issue with like a closeted gay person going out with somebody in the church. And when looking back at it, that person wasn't closeted. They were clearly gay, but no one in the church went to admit it or really recognize it, you know, especially like the choir director or something, you know what I mean? or the person that was in charge of all the fucking production of the service itself. All these kind of guys always had something going on in the church. So, and those places are usually very, 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 very homophobic. So it's no surprise that there are maybe some prominent black folks who might be into trans people and shit. I ain't that surprised, really. I don't think it's news. And I think this person maybe should be careful about exposing people like this. It's not necessary. Obviously, no names were mentioned, but I'm sure there's some flipping, someone out there is going to be bored enough to go through this person's Instagram fucking friends, go through their pictures, go through all the likes, and figure out who the person is. That's the annoying thing about the world we live in now. There's going to be someone out there that's bored enough that's going to sit there and trawl through the entirety of their friends list, the entirety of who they follow, go through as many comments as they can and try and figure out who the fucking person is, but yeah, big up sinners, big up blood clot sinners. Moving on, talking about people doing some madness. God damn, talking about people doing a madness. God damn. This headline's courtesy of Variety. Fat Joe sued for $20 million by former hype man in explosive complaint. He alleges rapper engaged in sex acts with minors, big up Crystalia, coerced him into more than 4,000 sexual acts to maintain his standing. God damn it, man. It looks like everybody's going down. It looks like everybody's going down. But I find it kind of wild that you're suing someone for $20 million for being the PDF, but you're not going to the police. So you'd rather get paid for exposing somebody who might be a PDF, except for getting them charged for being a PDF and put in prison. I don't know what's going on. Let's read the article. Pretty wild. A former hype man is accusing Fat Joe of being a PDF. Fucking insane. Let's read the entire article. Fat Joe's former hype man, Terrence T.A. Dixon, has filed an explosive lawsuit in federal court against a rapper on Thursday. Dixon's alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, engaged in coercive labor exploitation, financial fraud, and sexual manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. Judging by those accusations, I feel like this guy's mainly suing Fat Joe for lack of payment. I forgot what the term is in fucking employment, but it seems like he's more concerned with the fact that he hasn't been paid as opposed to the other PDF shit. Maybe he's adding on those PDF stuff to kind of force Fat Joe to give him the money or to pay him for his fucking his salary and shit that he probably hasn't been paid yet. That's what it feels like off the bat. I don't know if I'm right in this, but that's what I get from coercive exploitation to financial fraud. That kind of sounds like he hasn't been paid, and then sexual manipulation and violent intimidation and psychological coercion is just put on there to kind of force the issue or back Fat Joe into a corner. Dixon adds that the hip-hop star behind such chart toppers like What's Love got rich and famous while he and his associates deliberately suppressed, silenced and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic and commercial contributions which were foundational to Fat Joe's professional success and personal brand. He's seeking $20 million in damages. If this is true, surely this is another reason why I say I'm again more confused why us people in the community, I'm talking in the urban community, hip hop community, why don't we do right by our peoples? Let's imagine this guy TA has a case for feeling like his contributions weren't, his contributions weren't acknowledged in the right way financially. Why do we do that to each other, especially our day ones? Why do we do that to people who legitimately were carrying the fucking vinyls into the club with us at the beginning? The people that were helping us print out flyers or hand out flyers. The people that were fucking doing the door at our first fucking gig and helping us fucking with a guest list and shit. Why do us as people in the urban community, hip hop community, do this to each other? If this is true, if Fat Joe's hype man felt like he hadn't been properly compensated. Why is that the case? Why don't we sort out those people close to us first and make sure they're good? Why is it always kind of undercut, like trying to, you know, cheat, trying to cut corners with our friends? It's kind of fucking sad, I'm not gonna lie, if true. Continue on. The complaint filed in U.S. District Court, Southern District of New York, details so many disturbing claims about Fat Joe's alleged sexual relations with women, including minors, that it contains a trigger warning on the first page of the 157-page document. For 16 years, Dixon served as Fat Joe's so-called hype man, a common figure in hip-hop who supports the artist by energizing the crowd and enhancing overall experience, or performance, sorry. He also contributed as lyricist, background vocalist on such hits as Congratulations, Ice Cream, Money Over Bitches. According to a complaint, he had an unrivaled vantage point to observe the rapper's offstage lifestyle and behavior. Dixon's represented by Tyrone Blackburn, who is also the lead counsel in the high-profile case against Sean Diddy Combs. Wow, okay. In February 2024, Blackburn filed a lawsuit on behalf of Diddy's accuser, Lil Rodney, alleging sexual assault, harassment, and failure to play underlining. 1 month later, the Department of Homeland Security conducted raids. So if I'm not mistaken, didn't that case against Diddy from Lil Rodney get thrown out? So maybe this guy isn't the best lawyer. I'm sure that Lil Rodney case didn't make it into the RICO, I'm pretty sure. But I could be wrong. So maybe this Tyrone Blackburn is not the best lawyer for this guy. Dixon states in the complaint that Fat Joe forced him into humiliating situations, including sex acts performed under duress and surveillance, accompanied by threats of abandonment in foreign countries if he refused compliance. By his own estimation, Dixon states in the suit that he was coerced into more than 4,000 sexual acts to maintain a standing within enterprise. What? So Fat Joe was forcing his hype man to do what? To fuck him or to fuck kids, and he watched. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Yo, the music industry is kind of wild, isn't it? Not kinda, it's very sick place, isn't it? Very twisted place. And I don't buy for 1 minute that nobody knew what was going on with Diddy, by the way. I'm sure we all kind of agree with that. I don't feel I'm saying anything illuminating or crazy, but I don't believe that. Like, I think there's a video going around, actually, a documentary from Traplo Ross. Big up Traplo Ross. I think Traplo Ross put together a documentary or something that kind of stitches the timeline together of why Diddy and 50 Cent kind of fell out. And if I'm not mistaken, the part that I got up to, I think I'm about halfway through it, but I think the bit that I got up to, essentially what Traplo Ross is hypothesizing is that Diddy and 50 Cent's relationship started off rocky immediately because one person, I think it might have been 50 Cent actually, end up fucking one of Diddy's girls. So it always begins with a girl. But along the way, as they were going back and forth over the years, Traplo Ross managed to find a article or I think a video recording or something of 50 Cent talking about his beef with Diddy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, 50 Cent said like 20 years ago, I think, or maybe 15 years ago, he kind of threatened Diddy by saying, hey, no, he didn't threaten Diddy. I think he called Diddy to say, hey, I've got the tape. Because allegedly, even 15 years ago, tapes of the Freak Off containing, you know, images or videos of Cassie and shit were doing the rounds behind the scenes. And 50 got wind of it and called Diddy to give him a heads up. And I think 50 said at that time he realized that Diddy was a bit of a freak because he didn't react the way he thought he was going to react. Like, he didn't react like angry and pissed off. He kind of was like almost happy that 50 knew about it, you know, in the kind of performative cocky way. It seemed odd. So if that's the case and 50 Cent has seen Freak Out videos 15 years ago or knew of their existence, you know, it leads me to believe that most likely everybody knew what was going down. So that's the crazy shit about all this sort of allegations. Like, everybody knows, everybody turns a blind eye, you know, but they're quick to do hashtags. They're quick to do all this performative social justice, political stances or whatever. But in their actual industry themselves, you know, especially women, they're getting fucking exploited. They're getting taken advantage of. In some cases, men are even going through that same sort of shit. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of fucking crazy. Most shockingly, the suit claims that Dixon personally witnessed Fat Joe exchanging sexual relations with children who were 15 and 16 years old, and at least 3 such Jane Does, including a 16-year-old Dominican girl in New York, who in exchange for cash, clothing and payment for her cell phone bill would perform oral sex and other sexual acts on the rapper. Minor Doe 2 is a Caucasian female and not a United States citizen. Fat Joe began having sexual relationships with Minor Doe 2 when she was 15 years old after a concert overseas. Defendant flew Minor Doe 2 to New York City and Miami, Florida on multiple occasions. Due to Minor Doe's body being adolescent and not fully formed, defendant paid for her to get a Brazilian butt lift. What? Huh? This guy's alleging that Fat Joe paid to have a 15-year-old get a butt lift, a BBL. No. Surely this can't be true. Oh my God. Minor Doe 2 eventually left the defendant and is now married to a professional athlete. I wonder who that is. Fat Joe hooked up with some kid overseas when he was on tour and ended up flying them back and forth around New York, Miami and Florida. Eventually, the kid ended up paying for that person's BBL. A 15-year-old got a BBL. America's a wild place, man, where a 15-year-old can even get that done. It's a fucking insane. And where are the fucking parents, by the way? Where are these girls' parents letting her fucking go on holiday or go and fucking fly out to fucking meet Fat Joe in Miami, New York and Florida? Where are the fucking parents at? Jesus Christ. According to Dixon, the defendant was in love with Minor Doe 3. He even contemplated leaving his wife. The defendant paid all Minor Doe 3's bills, even took her overseas on these tour trips. He brought her to Florida and would put her in a condo he rented a few blocks from his house with his wife. What a life, innit? What a fucking life. Flying out some girl and then having her move down the street so you can always pop around and do whatever needs to be done. Absolutely insane way to live. In a recorded conversation, Minor Doe 3 and her 15-year-old cousin described in detail to plaintiff how inappropriate it was for defendant, who was in his late 30s at the time, to be fawning over children. Fat Joe is represented by celebrity criminal attorney Joe Tacopina, who defended A$AP Rocky and Donald Trump. Tacopina responded to a lawsuit saying the lawsuit is filled by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrence Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation and a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the civil suit we filed first, which exposes their coordinated scheme to extort Mr. Cartagena through lies, threats, and manufactured allegations. Law enforcement is aware of the extortion demand at the heart of this scheme. The allegations against Mr. Cartagena are completely fabrications, lies, intended to damage your reputation. Mr. Cartagena will not be intimidated. We have taken legal action to expose the fraudulent campaign. Defendants in the suit also include Pistol Pete, Rich Player, who are referred to as key associates in Fat Joe's criminal enterprise, asserting. So this guy is snitching as well, by the way, on Fat Joe's fucking crime shit. But wow. The suit additionally names Jay-Z, claiming the company which represents Fat Joe knowingly participating because bloody hell. Rock Nation's always at the heart of shit, innit? Cue that fucking clip of fucking Tory Lanez's dad going crazy over Rock Nation outside the court when he got convicted or found guilty. Rock Nation's always at the scene of the crime. Always. The suit additionally names Jay-Z's Rock Nation, claiming that the company which represents Fat Joe knowingly participated in concealing, transferring and manipulating Dixon's authorship rights and royalty interests and sought to intimidate, harass and obstruct the HYPEMAN's legitimate claims against Fat Joe, Torres and just Petery. Fucking insane. Fucking, is there more? Oh my god, okay, cool. Let's read some more stuff here. According to a lawsuit, the defendant engaged in deliberate tax fraud schemes in an effort to conceal their extensive wage theft, artificially inflate Dixon's tax liabilities, expose him to unwarranted tax audits and penalties, and systemically obscure the exploited labor. The complaint cites a whistleblower accountant who came forward last year, as well as recorded phone calls that helped paint the picture of the alleged misdeeds. The move comes after Fat Joe sued Dixon in April for slandering him on social media by claiming that the top blonde was enjoying higher politician connections through a 16-year-old girl across state lines. That suit also names Dixon's lawyer Terrence Blackburn, claiming the pair tried to shake him down. This is the right way to fight Joe, through the system. You can't fight him no way, Dixon tells Variety in an exclusive interview. Joe thinks he's a god. Joe thinks he's untouchable. Dixon's suit against Fat Joe goes much further than his social media posts and states that he endured a wide spectrum of sexual coercion, psychological control, forced exhibitionism, surveillance-based humiliation, including being compelled to perform sex acts under observation, being filmed or directed by Fat Joe in the presence of others. These sex-based abuses were not private, incidental, or isolated. They were integral to the enterprise culture of dominance and humiliation enforced by the defendant's associates such as Pistol Pete, JB, and others, and sustained across numerous tours including Miami, North Carolina, Germany, Spain, and Wisconsin. Fucking hell. So I'm assuming that foreign girls probably from one of those countries, Germany or Spain. In further complaint, Dixon claims that the activity took place in the Market America's corporate yacht and his mansion properties where Fat Joe orchestrated repeated orgies involving plaintiff female dancers and minors. Jesus Christ, if true. Oh my God. Dixon not willing consent to participate. Fat Joe hobnobbed the some of the biggest scenes. So pretty wild story, pretty wild allegation. Fat Joe is being sued for $20 million for allegedly being a PDF. The funny thing is, this is like, you know, similar to what Diddy's, you know, in trouble for at the moment. I'm sure there's a ton of Diddy and Fat Joe pictures out there of them looking very cold. This is kind of wild, a kind of wild story. I'm not going to lie. Maybe one of the wildest I've read. I'm not going to lie. Jesus Christ. Big up Coil in the chat. Big up blogger Coiler. Big up who else? Big up Younger Vibe. Minorities have underlying insecurities and inferiority. It makes them put them down, others down. That's true. Big up Younger Vibes. Big up Big Booth. He's done. He just started a popular pod. I know it's over. Yeah, that's the thing in it. The timing is fucking crazy. He just started that pod that he's doing with Jada Kiss, right? The episode went out recently with him with Jim Jones and shit. It's done pretty well. He got a bit of virality by kind of insulting Joe Budden and shit. That kind of worked. And yeah, they're pretty high profile rappers, right? Two lyricists. You wouldn't expect them to sit down and do a podcast themselves anyway. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, the timing for Fat Joe couldn't be worse. But if it's true and he did touch these kids, I don't care about the timing. I mean, fuck him. If it's actually true and he did essentially engage in a sexual relationship with a 15, 16-year-old, they deserve to be, you know, put under the fucking prison or whatever it may be. It's pretty fucking insane. Pretty fucking insane. Talking about being fucking insane, let's check out History Hyenas. History Hyenas recently appeared on Flagrant. I'm not usually the biggest fan of Flagrant, especially their recent tilt towards politics. But I gotta be honest, this might be one of the best interviews, best episodes in a long time. The episodes where they actually talk to comedians and don't talk to like politicians or journalists or like wannabe public intellectuals and shit make for a far better episode. Far better. Maybe there was a few more uncomfortable pauses than they are in most other ones, but it was way nicer to hear from people who are at least trying to be funny, trying to make each other fucking laugh with fucking laughter. That was really, really cool. So I kind of did enjoy that. But anyway, that being said, there's a clip here from History Hyenas. I think they did a timestamp of it where they kind of talk about the comedy bubble blowing or the comedy bubble blowing up. Yeah, the comedy bubble deflation, they say. So let's check this out. I think there's gonna be some interesting stuff that they might have observed regarding the comedy bubble bursting. We've spoken about it a ton on this particular stream, what's actually led to the comedy bubble bursting. But let's hear what these guys who are actual professional comedians have to say about it.
Now that people are kind of like hesitant.
Well, lower your fucking prices, dude.
I'm not on the road.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Smart to not be on the road right now.
Why, is the road rough right now?
Yeah, it's not great.
So I wonder, I had a theory about this with comedy, actually. Yeah. I think.
Because I know that'll be there. Or,
right.
So that's smart.
Yeah.
Smart to not be on the road right now.
Why, is the road rough right now?
Yeah, it's not great.
So I wonder, I had a theory about this with comedy, actually. Yeah.
How much better does Andrew Schultz look now that he doesn't have that fucking rage bait troll haircut he had? This probably was his wife's doing, but how much better does Andrew Schultz look that he has like normal hair now and doesn't have that fucking annoying weird bowl cut thing that he was doing? That was clearly just for attention, and it obviously worked to kind of trigger people and shit, but he looks way better like this. Way better like this.
I think that like I think the bubble has subsided a little bit.
Yeah, well, you can tell that by our ticket sales. We feel that.
Go check out Giannis and Chris on the road.
Go see Property Owner.
No, but I think there's a version of it. Like I remember Shane and I were doing a show in Canada, and it was an outdoor show, and there was fucking like 40.
The looking up thing is hilarious, man. We got Shane Gillis. As soon as he started looking up, I immediately thought of Shane Gillis. Schultz really does think he's kind of having this epiphany, isn't it? Saying the most mundane milquetoast, run-of-the-mill thing. Like his eyes are up, like he's searching for the words. He's trying to reach out to the words out in the ether, you know? He's trying to make sense of the world around him. And he sees words, he doesn't see colors.
1,000 people. Like people were sitting on a bridge watching the show from the bridge, right? And I was like, yeah, this is the end of it. Like it should never be this big. Right. And it has to kind of come down. It doesn't mean it comes all the way down. But I think that like after COVID, everybody wanted to be outside. They wanted to laugh. Comedy dominated the culture. The most influential person in the world loves comedy. And because of that, there's like, interest in the people that he influences, obviously Rogan. And I think everybody got those experiences. And I think for a little bit now, they're just like, all right, we're cool. We've
Do you think these guys really think the end of COVID was the reason why stand-up isn't what it once was? Do they really think that? Or do they not think that maybe they're not just as funny as they once were? Maybe everyone's like, it's odd that they think COVID ending is the reason why shows aren't as popular as they once were. Things aren't selling out. They're not going on big tours. Like, they honestly think people going back, quote unquote, outside is the reason why no one's going to comedy clubs. Couldn't it just be a combination of things, or primarily the fact that once you see one of these guys, two of these guys, four of these guys, you've kind of seen them all. And a lot of these guys are kind of lazy. They don't put a lot of, effort into their act or stuff. So if you're going to go, if you saw Bobby Lee in 2018, you're not going to go see him again in 2025 because most likely you're going to get the same set. So you just leave it. And most of these comedians, unfortunately, when you see them in person, it can sometimes ruin your image or idea of them. So maybe you see these guys once perform live, and then you're like, you know what? He's not as funny as I thought he was. And you don't go and see them again. You might still watch the podcast. You might still follow their content or watch their content, but you're not going to go and see them live again. Has nothing to do with, COVID. Has more to do with them maybe not being as funny as they once were.
We saw 4 or 5 shows.
Yeah.
And then, I don't think it goes away entirely, but I think there's a little bit of a reset.
100%.
There's going to be a purge.
Yeah.
You think it's purge?
There's going to be some, we're cutting the fat or whatever. Like
I just think
certain
it's a
comics
little...
are going to whatever, certain comics are going to sustain.
Yeah.
Maybe what they're trying to say was that they all enjoyed a kind of increase in attention when everyone was sort of like obsessed with comedy podcasts. Because I feel like even nowadays, maybe you guys are different, but I feel like even on my feed, I don't feel like I get presented with a lot of like clips from podcasts or comedy ones, especially that go viral. Obviously, the channels exist like mine, like other bigger ones like Podcast Cringe and Two Years to Try, but I don't feel like I see clips from comedy-based podcasts going viral. I see clips from like other pods, like cultural commentary ones type of things, pop culture ones, entertainment news ones, gossipy ones, but I don't really see clips from stand-up comedy pods going viral. And if that's the case, maybe it's just not enough people listening to the stuff to make the money. I mean, maybe they've gone and listened to something else. Like all the fans like myself who listen to Rogan religiously all the time, who would listen to every episode from the start to the end, who now can't get through maybe an hour of Rogan. Where have we gone? Have we stopped listening to pods, or we've got other things to fill our time? In my case, I just started listening to other stuff to fill my time. So maybe that's what's happened as well. Maybe the people that were paying loads of attention to pods, stand-up comedy pods, and who kind of gave these guys an inflated boost are now gone. But I'm also asking the question, why did these comedians think that pop, that moment in time where everyone was selling out, where everyone was touring, why did they think it would last forever? Why are they surprised it's returning to this level that they're at now? That's the concerning thing. Like, how are these guys surprised that the bubble burst? Did they think it was going to last forever?
You're just going to see things kind of...
That's why I think the comedy clubs, like, Like, I know there's a lot of people that like they can't wait to get out of comedy clubs. Comedy clubs.
I love comedy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back to them.
No, comedy clubs, because that's what thrives during this time. It's like going to.
Of course. Now they're all desperate to get back to the clubs. A few months ago, a few years ago, a couple of years ago, they were all talking about theaters and arenas and like Schultz making really cringy videos, vomit-inducing videos of him selling out Madison Square Garden and showing off to his dad and fake crying. Like, ugh. Now all of a sudden, because they can't maybe fill up the arenas, maybe because arena shows are kind of soulless, you know, I kind of equate it a little bit to like DJing. When you start DJing, you always dream of playing on like really big stages, big festivals, big arenas. But when you watch these performances, especially like, you know, DJs on live stream, or you're lucky enough to go to a show and see a big name DJ play in these big arenas, you realize that it's not as fun as you thought it'd be, especially as a raver. It's a bit of a soulless experience. The DJ is like way over there, you know, there's a fucking 100-foot fucking fence separating you and the DJ from the dance floor. So it doesn't really have the same sort of vibe and ambiance that you would get from a club. And I'm assuming comedians is probably the same thing. Maybe there's a lot of diminishing returns. Maybe, you know, a theater is one thing, but arenas and state lights, it's just too much. You don't need to do that. Especially most of these guys, they're not at that level where they need to be going to perform in an arena. No, it's not that deep. Maybe do a run of dates at a club. That'd be pretty good. But then again, a run of dates at a club requires probably more work because you're probably going to do 2 shows a day. And these guys, you know, we know comedians to be notoriously work shy, would rather just maybe do a weekend of 2 shows spread across 2 days in an arena as opposed to do 4 shows spread across 2 days in a club. But obviously the club is probably a better experience. But I love this new cope of like, oh yeah, clubs are the best now because you can't sell out arenas or you can't get offered them anymore.
Going to do a show, like, don't get me wrong, the arenas are fucking awesome, it's amazing, etc. But
tell me about it.
I don't. I will.
I love them.
They're incredible. No. But like, I don't think anybody gets tired of seeing their favorite comic with 200 people in a room.
It's
300 people in a room.
Also,
It's like incredible.
Also, too, the audience. One thing I realized too, the audience doesn't really care about the difference. Like, if you want to go do a theater or an arena, it's amazing. Obviously, make money, big people, but then you run the risk of like someone sitting in section 10.
By the way, that's the main point. That's the main point. The economics behind doing a theater and an arena, night and day difference. So they probably make so much money on an arena tour, which is why they all kind of push to get that level of famous. They don't want to get that level of famous to be funny. They just want to get famous enough that they can demand or they can have that conversation about putting on a show in the fucking arena. But unfortunately for the fans, you get a pretty shitty or mediocre product.
10,000 that was like, oh, I didn't even really think it was that funny, and it's not the performance. Like, you were distracted. You got
to make the show for them.
Of course it wasn't the performance. I love these comedians, man. This is the only art form where it's always everyone else's fault. I swear to God, in DJing, right, I'm thinking anything else, I swear to God, in DJing, if you have a bad set, you had the bad set. It's never the raver's fault. It's never their fault. It's your fault. You didn't understand how to read the crowd. Your mixes were off. Your song selection was off. Maybe you appear too late. Maybe you didn't compliment the DJ that played before you. But it's always your fault because a sick DJ can come on and tear it down. Same way how we watched Kill Tony before, where a bunch of people are fucking bombed. Then a decent, competent comedian comes on and absolutely tears that same room that seemed like they're not about laughing. That this room isn't really in the mood. No, they're just waiting for somebody funny. They're just waiting for somebody who's good at their job to come on stage. And when somebody does come on stage that's good at their job, suddenly they're all laughing again. So I do find it interesting how in the terms of entertainment, art form, whatever it may be, comedians don't really have any level of accountability. They don't really seem to have any, they're not really honest about why a show didn't go well. Why maybe the performance didn't live up to the expectations. And for whatever reason, it's never them that's at fault. It's the lighting, the tickets were too much. It wasn't the marketing wasn't good. So you fire your social media team. It's never about, oh, what did you do wrong on that stage once you got on it? Really interesting the way they think.
Like that was the thing. When we were on the road, it's like when we were doing these big venues, it was like very intentional. How do you make the show so those people up there can experience it as close to those people down there? And I think a lot of people just go, oh, I do comedy shows in comedy clubs. Now I'm in a theater of 5,000 people. I'll just do the same thing. And it's like, well, people aren't going to come back if that's what you do. It has to change. When you do 50 people in a little like a one-off room in the city, it's going to be different than when you do 500 people. Yeah. Like, do you remember going to your first like Funny Bone where it was like 500 people?
Yeah.
And do you remember like your jokes feeling thin?
I'm not going to lie. I don't think there's any reason to see any comedian in an arena. Unless maybe you're seeing like a Louis C.K. or Dave Chappelle and shit. I couldn't really imagine a scenario where going to see a comedian in an arena would make sense. Unless maybe it's again, like I said, a Dave Chappelle or Louis C.K. type comedian. I wouldn't want to do that, you know? Or if you did do it, it'd be once every few years. But these guys don't tour arenas once every few years. They tour arenas, you know, every 6 months or something, you know, which is way too often, way too frequent. And those tickets aren't cheap as well, right? Just by default, they're going to be like, what, $100 plus? Who's paying $100 to go see a comedian perform in a massive arena where you can only see them if you look at the screens? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, whoa, this is a little bit different. Like, when there was 200 people packed in the cellar, I'm ripping, and all of a sudden it feels a little bit distant, right? So I think there has to be that adjustment. I think it just...
Yeah, big up Vagabond and My Nuts. Yeah, Fluffy and Kevin Hart definitely are good shouts for that. But again, one-off appearances. You know, if you saw Kevin Hart performing in an arena last year, would you go and see him perform in an arena again this year? Probably not. You probably might wait. You probably might have a gap in between. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I just think this idea that arenas are like the be all and end all of comedy or entertainment is fucking insane. Especially when you've considered that, just, you know, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I think even your jokes probably don't travel as well. You probably have to slow down how you speak or how you deliver your fucking jokes in the first place. Maybe some of that physical comedy doesn't work if you're on an arena because most people can't see you. You know, like, there's loads of things you have to consider when you're doing this type of date. So yeah, it's an interesting conundrum.
It's exploded, and I'm curious what happens the next 5 years.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to recede for sure. Because you're right, it's gotten to the peak. Yeah. It's like Steve Martin said in his book when he went to the stadium and he was like, "This is what I knew I had to. This was not comedy
sustainable."
Anymore. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it became a part of people's identity to like comedy, want to see comedy, less than it was, I just like that person, I want to be there.
I would say it became part of a comedian's identity to be to be an arena comic. They're so obsessed with arenas. You know, maybe just bragging rights, maybe, you know, maybe money. I'm not really too sure, but they were super obsessed with it. So, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It's almost like football in Europe. Mm-hmm. Like, I got to go see Man U because that's my team and I got to do it. Like, comedy was people's team in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think like now it goes, if I really like that person, I need to go see them.
I don't think it was ever that. I don't think people saw their teams. That's why Joe Rogan stopped with the fucking Death Squad shit. No one really cares about teams and shit. You like what you like, whatever pod that you like, you might go see them perform live. You know, whatever comedian you like, you go see them perform live. It's not really about the teams, I don't think, when it comes to comedians. I could be wrong. Maybe he means more in terms of like the GRE verse. I don't know. But I don't think it's team based. I think it's just who people like individually.
And the problem is too, mention the economy. It's like they might really want to go see you, but for other comics who are on similar universes and podcasts,
$300 a night.
They went and saw them, and they're like, I just don't have the money.
Yeah, big up Vagabond, big up Joe from MIA as well. Big up.
Money. I really would love to see you. I just don't have, and if maybe that year you don't get picked because they just saw you 18 months ago. Yeah. So you come back in the other one. But I think the comedy clubs too, it's also, I personally like just, you know, we're doing comedy 15 years, 20, 50, like we've been doing it a long time. Yeah. Now it's like, I realize like I'd rather do the packed comedy club or, you know, small theater, because then I feel like a comic. I know there's more money getting bigger like that, but I've also said to myself, well, also time is money, and I got kids now, so it's like, do I want to go on a world tour? If I was going to do it, I would do it once, and I would try to bring my family as much as possible, because
Also, like, how much money do you need, man? These guys have been podding for years. They've been in Rogan's orbit and friendship group for a long time. And most of Joe Rogan's friends, you would say, are probably millionaires, right? Especially the ones who are like involved in the entertainment industry. The ones who have their own pods. With just that exposure you get from Rogan, you'd imagine most of his friends are probably millionaires or close to thousandaires, right? If that's the case, like, I don't know, why be so bothered about the money aspect? Why not think about the craft? Why not put more attention or put more resources, money, whatever, into the production of your show? All these things are super important, as opposed to just, oh yeah, want to fill out this arena, want to fill out this side. For what purpose though? Are you funnier? Like, come on, man, what's going on here?
I love the art of stand-up. I will do stand-up all day till I die, hopefully soon. And but I hate the road. I do not care about performing in any other city. I couldn't care less how the room is, how the vibe is. I like being in New York. I like being home with my family. If my family...
Interesting. Maybe that explains why people like Rogan and maybe Dave Chappelle open their own clubs, isn't it? They generally don't care about performing on the road, but they want to have a spot that they can jump in and kind of pop in and perform whenever they want. So they open their own clubs. That's probably the right way to go about doing things. And maybe that also explains why some comedians probably get passed in some locations, because they want to play in that one room, that one location every single time.
Family's with me, I'll go anywhere. If they're not with me, I would truly love to just do it here as much as I can, because I never considered the road. I started comedy before I had a family. Once you have a family, you're like,
things change, yeah.
What? Like, I got to miss my kid's recital.
Yeah.
I know I'm making money and it's for them, but it's like, is it for them? My parents didn't leave me any money.
Move to Vegas, my boy.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's what happens.
Everyone's focusing on their kids now. They've all gotten quite old, I guess. They run out of fucking bartenders to finger bang. So now they're all like dads, innit? They're all fucking conscious about their family, making adjustments about where they're going to go and how long they're going to stay based on their family. It's kind of funny, I'm not going to say, because in days gone by, that wasn't the case, but it's kind of funny.
Well, my girl can't leave state lines.
That'll change when you marry her in 9 years.
Yeah, I'm going to keep finding ways to push it back.
Yeah.
Buying time, baby.
You're serious? You're back in clubs? Because I put off theaters for like a year and a half. I think I'm finally going 2026.
I
but
do
I've
the
put it off
theaters
for as long
now
as I
where I can really...
So you're back in clubs. So these guys generally just don't perform in clubs anymore. No wonder they get so shit, innit? They only perform in theaters to their own crowd, basically, but don't go performing. So all that stuff comedians used to say about doing sets and reps was completely false. It was made up. Remember? That was a running trope, a running kind of narrative, whatever, right? Sets and reps, going to different clubs, popping in, sharpening your joke arsenal. All that shit was made up then. Cool.
Do the theaters where if it's like I can easily sell it out, or you're adding shows at the theater, like New York, Boston, Chicago theater, I'll do, because those I can do it there. But the other places, why?
Do the theaters where you can add shows.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'll tell like a lot of guys. It's like a lot of people are so excited to do a theater, they don't realize you make less money in the theater.
Yes.
So they're just excited to do it, so that they're saying that you're doing a theater, and that is like a cool accolade as a comedian. Like, I remember coming up like, oh, one day I'm going to be able to perform in a theater, right? But if you don't mind doing the thing, if you don't mind doing a few shows, then wait until you're doing multiple theaters.
And one thing you never hear these comedians talk about, which is really sad, because I feel like comedians have such a loyal fan base, but the comedians take the piss out of them. One thing you never hear these comedians say is trying to make a funnier show. How much they've been spending time watching comedy specials, watching movies, trying to get inspired, traveling, having different flipping experiences with different people to inform their work, to form their fucking act, so they can deliver a funnier show and be like, yeah, I know you loved my show last year, but this year's going to be really fucking funny. You never hear that. It's just the business of this, the ticket sales, the fucking, quantity of people coming in. It's always these fucking shits, but it's never just, I want to keep doing it so I can do better shows. Year on, maybe a couple of years on, better shows. It's always about the money. Always about the money.
For me,
the arenas are sick. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to seem like I'm bagging on it. Like it's fucking unbelievable.
Big up Jack Donny Jr. That's actually a great point. Sadly, the only person who does that, talk about being funnier, is actually Bert. That's actually a really good point. That is very true. Bert might be the only person who actually, and maybe Ari Shafir as well, yeah, maybe Ari Shafir too. He does go out of his way to mention that, oh yeah, I'm really working. And the other guy too, what's his name? Kevin, is it Neil Brennan? Not Kevin Brennan, Neil Brennan. He also speaks about trying to be funnier, trying to develop his act, try and get funnier, try and get funnier, try and get funnier. Maybe even Ben Shapiro, well, not Ben Shapiro, what's his fucking name? Andrew Santino, Ben Shapiro. Maybe Andrew Santino, if I think, also is one of the type of guys who kind of makes an effort to make sure he gets everything done the same way, you know? But yeah, let's continue.
It was like,
well, the way you do it, it's like fucking John Cena's coming out. Explosions. Yeah, I would just come out there and be like, hey guys, and they'd be like, what the fuck?
Well, that's what you can't, because then I feel like they get upset.
We got Shades Cow. A rich comic and a poor comic lead very different lives. Yep, 100%. They couldn't get more different, to be fair. It's completely different. But I think it also applies always. I know I will go back to DJ, it's anything I kind of refer to, but I think it also kind of relates to the DJ side of things. Like a superstar world touring DJ has a very different life than what I have, where I'm playing in like local bars and pubs for like, you know, $100 or drink tokens and shit. They have a different life, you know what I mean? They're getting escorted into studios with masks and glasses on and shit. They've been allowed to live stream sessions, I think, in some regards. So it's all different. It's all completely different. But it's just amazing how much higher up these guys are compared to people coming up. But they're not that much higher up when it comes to skill, you know? That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah, so I should come out in like a toga.
No, just put like spend the money. Like it costs tens of thousands of dollars to put those fucking screens up. But that's the difference between somebody way back there who like spent all the money they saved up for a month to go to the show, enjoying it, and not. And if I was them and I saved up money for a month to go see the show and then I couldn't even really see the act, I'd be fucking pissed off too. So the idea, at least for us, is like, how do we make sure that every single one comes back? And
wow. There was a time when they didn't care about the fans coming back, about the fucking ticket buyers, the punters coming back. But I guess now they're realizing that they're running out of people to kind of grift or, you know, or sell tickets to. So they kind of have to act, you know, and treat these people well. But it might be a little bit too late.
So far, you know, knock on wood, that's been, you know, the case. So
yeah, arenas, and if you could do them, I mean, it's just obviously it's a big show financially. You just make so much money. But for me, when I'm on the road, I just look at the money I make on the road as freedom coupons to be back with my family. Yeah. So if I'm going to go do a theater and
didn't Rogan say that? Isn't that a Rogan phrase? Freedom coupons. I remember that drove the Reddit crazy when Rogan referred to his nearly $1 billion fucking fortune as freedom coupons. But he's still on the pod every other day, you know, tightening his shit, getting fucking Glenn Greenwald to give him, you know, whatever. But let's continue.
Make way less money, I'm always going to pick the club because I'm like, this means that I don't have to go on the road for the next 2 weekends. That's really all I care about. Yeah. Like the moment you gave me an opportunity to make a full living not leaving New York City, I would take it immediately.
That's called podcasting.
Well, I feel like I have it already. Yeah. I feel like I could do that already, but it's just you convince yourself to stay on the tread.
It's not enough money though. That's the truth about it. It's not enough money. There might not be, I don't think there's a more money hungrier person in the entertainment industry. I think comedians might be the most money hungry. Every other person in any other walk of life or any other field in entertainment or the arts at least pretends. They at least pretend they're in it for more than just the money. But comedians make it very clear that they're only in it for the fucking P. They're only in it for the fucking, you know, whatever, the glitz and the glamour of it. They're not really in it for anything else. It's kind of sad.
So that's why I like to just say publicly a lot, because then I like when my girl hears it and tells us, were you doing that already? With your podcast, you can just do that already. So why are you going on the road? I'm like, you know, because I'm an idiot.
The point of I don't know, the point of the podcast, I think, is like it gives you the freedom to do stand-up how you want to do it.
Well, yeah, but I want to do it how I want to do it in New York.
Yeah, and if you can do it that way. I guess, to me, like, the freedom of making money and like providing yourself on the pod means that like you don't have to go do stand-up when you don't want to, and doing stand-up as like a job, meaning like
we're getting all the answers we needed why these guys aren't funny. Remember, I was scratching my head thinking, what's happened to these guys? Why they ain't funny anymore? We're getting all the answers. Podcasting pays so well, they don't actually need to do stand-up. And when they do stand-up, it's only with like, you know, high ticket price shit that they know is going to be immaculate. You know, it's kind of what's happening here. It's kind of funny. But we're getting the clearest answer we needed as to why comedy specials aren't great anymore. It's because these comedians don't really care about being, you know, don't really care really when it comes to being funny or providing entertainment for their fans. It's pretty funny. I don't know why.
Like you have to go to this place you don't want to do. Seems to me like, I don't know, it's we did it, you know, for 10 years of our lives growing up, but it's, I don't want to perform for people when I don't want to. I want to be excited. Like I can't wait to get back in that market, and I got new stuff for them, and I'm excited
Yanni
to share.
and we were actually talking about this on the way over here, where like, you know, you're walking, we walked like what, 20, 30 city blocks.
We got our steps in.
We got our steps in. And it's like, you know, the love that you feel from the people in New York walking around, oh, Hyenas, you guys are back. What's up? And then even the financial aspect of it, like, I mean, the creative aspect of it, number one, like how free we are, say whatever we want, do whatever we want, make the jokes we want. And then the financial aspect of it, we're like, oh, you have.
By the way, quiet is kept, but Giannis has a pretty decent collection of Air Maxes in it, or trainers in general. He's kind of very subtle with it, and very demure, not very showy, but fucking Giannis has a pretty decent collection of trainers, not gonna lie.
Have to consciously tell yourself like you have it already, like there's not more out there to get. It's like you convince yourself, I need this, if once I get this will happen. It's like, no, you have it, we have it already.
Do you feel sometimes that like you don't have it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think sometimes I feel that it's because of my kids. I feel, oh, I got to go out there,
pressure to
and do so much more for them. I got to leave them with something. But then I realized I was left with nothing. My mom and dad don't have any money, and I'm fine. I'll fit the tools that I'll give them to be able to self-start anything in their life and go after things is what they need. They already have in their accounts more money than because I inherited $0. So the money that they already have a better start than me. So it's like, what's the treadmill here for? I've been doing it for 15 years. So it's like, just at some point be like, okay.
Would you ever take some time off and just like kind of
I like I said,
Chris always has these. Chris and Stefano might be up there with Bert when it comes to turning every pod into like a therapy session. He might be up there with Bert, I'm not gonna lie. He's a funnier dude than Bert, obviously. Maybe a funner guy to hang out with as a Marine, but god damn it, man, he can waffle. He can fucking yap, innit? He can yap. That's for sure. That man loves a good yap.
I love the art of comedy. I want to take time off the road.
Yeah, that's 100%. What I mean.
Just at the end of December, I'm all.
Really?
I have these shows booked through December. There's no plan to add anything in 2026.
This is the first time I didn't get to start headlining. I'm way behind y'all. Like 2021, I think I finally was out on the road. So I didn't take a break. Even after my special, I took like a month off.
You have to
and
wait
then
for
I was
Aziz
back.
to get canceled.
I had to wait for Aziz to get his dick
and then there
sucked
was
to
an Indian
Seinfeld.
spot open.
Yeah,
for Hassan to send Anthrax. And then
And gosh, she's being all serious and sincere. And Chris is definitely, you had to wait for Aziz Ansari to get cancelled before you could get a chance to shine. It's fucking insane.
and then
I had to wait for
there
all
was
these
a
guys.
nice Indian spot
I had to wait
open.
for
Kumail to start
Akash
juicing.
massaged that whole thing.
he was on the side like that. Wait,
I actually sent the fake Anthrax.
We got Shades Car. In my opinion, the majority of funny comics are local comics and not trying to be superstars and are funnier than the superstars. I don't actually think, I kind of agree with you, but I'd go a little bit further. I think these guys can be funny. I think these guys were funny. I just think naturally, because podcasting pays so well, and because a lot of them have kind of turned into, you know, influencer type social media people, there's no real need, really. They probably don't feel the need or the urge to really work on their craft like it's stand-up comedy. They don't really feel the need to, because they can get away with a lot of things by just chilling, you know, here. So I kind of get why some don't, you know? I kind of do get it. I kind of do fucking get it.
Go. You're saying.
But yeah, but this is the first. This summer, I'm doing like one show next week, then nothing in July, then maybe one show in August, 2 shows in August, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. But for 4 years straight, I was like, man, I got to catch up to everybody else in terms of just not money, but just reps.
Yeah,
because you feel like you grow so much on the road, especially early.
Well, you're in a race with yourself. That's what I think you figured out. It's like you're not ever in a race with anybody else.
I used to look at guys who were.
Imagine a car running, trying to outpace a fucking horse. Just imagine that little man's body trying to run away from the horse. It's fucking incredible.
Headline it and be like, oh, like when I was just doing club spots and be like, dude, I don't know if I could ever get that funny. And then when I started headlining, I was like, oh, it's not that I can't get that funny. I didn't have the reps. And then when I started to feel that growth, I was like,
well, it's not even the
stay
reps.
on it.
You're a different bag of chemicals in that person. You have different circumstances, different things.
Absolutely. But the idea that level of funny was unattainable was like, I was like, oh, that's not it. I just needed the reps. And then when I started getting them, I was like, I want no.
10,000 hours.
Now you're cooking. Like that's another thing. I think like once you
can we maybe not focus so much more on the 10 years and you can have a special, the article about her being fucking depressed and shit. Like that was a really good interview, by the way. But yeah, like, can we just move on from that, please, if it's possible? Because Jesus fucking Christ. In the end, the comedy bubble has burst. I'm surprised these guys are surprised that it did burst. I'm surprised that these guys didn't at once time figure in their mind that, oh shit, maybe this guy was, you know, whatever he was. But yeah, I wish comedians would go back to being funny. I wish they'd focus less on touring and ticket sales and all this shit and marketing fucking promo stuff. And I wish they would just focus on trying to be as funny as they can. Try to fucking surpass how funny they were the previous show. And just keep going, you know? That would be fucking sick. But will it happen? Unlikely, because there's just too much money involved. Moving on. Quick update here regarding this Chinese PhD student. I think I spoke about it before on Taz. But this news was pretty fucking scary. If I'm not mistaken, this guy met these girls on Tinder or some dating platform. He was here living in London. I think he's based out of North Greenwich or somewhere. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, he's a rich kind of student kid who came over to England and ended up graping a bunch of Asian students too, that he usually tried to hook up with on dating apps and stuff. But in this case, if I'm not mistaken, he was drugging all of them. So when they eventually went to arrest him, they found like massive bottles of like GHB, massive packets of ketamine, like crazy shit. So he took advantage of all those girls and essentially, you know, engaged in some level of intercourse with them on flipping on that. It's fucking disturbing, I'm not going to lie. So this is an update regarding him. And he alleged he got 24 years in prison, which is fucking great.
Now for a story with some distressing details. This man, Chinese PhD student Zhen Haozhou, has been jailed for 24 years for drugging and raping at least 10 women. He was convicted using video evidence.
I'm not going to lie, that's very uncommon. Most sexual assault cases, especially when involving rape, don't get convicted. But I think it was helped, as the woman's about to say, a part of the story I forgot. When the police went to arrest him at his crib, and they searched his home, they found obviously all the drugs that he used to drug the girls, but they also found loads of secret hidden cameras that he put in between books, that he hid behind particular ornaments and shit. So I guess so he could kind of look and watch what he kind of did to that girl, or those girls in general. And the really sad part about it as well is that he was going around doing it to a bunch of people, daytime, shared time, whatever, it didn't matter. The really sad thing about it, if I'm not mistaken, was that I think only a couple of girls initially reported him, maybe 4 or 5. And, you know, people weren't really that nice to them when they came out. And the really sad thing about it was that once those victims did come out and say something, a bunch of other victims got brave enough to say something too. But a bunch of them didn't really remember what happened because of whatever dosage of GHB and shit they were taking that made them black out. It was fucking insane. So I missed quite a lot of that sort of shit.
He recorded of the attacks in his own London flat. Police believe he could be one of the UK's worst ever sex offenders.
Powerful bunch.
Yeah, big up Asad Aziz.
The ketamine cocksmith.
Exactly.
In court, he's Chin Sumi.
Jesus Christ. Chin Sumi is fucking crazy. Big up Asad Aziz. That's hilarious.
50 victims. Julian Drucker has the story.
How many videos do you have?
你总共有多少条片呢？拍
No comment.
No comments. How many victims are there?
有多少个受害人？
No comments.
It's the question which remains, even after Zhenhao Zhou has been found guilty of raping 10 women.
Most likely the numbers are far higher. I think because he mainly targeted Asian girls, or Chinese girls specifically, foreign students who he was obviously with in England here. I'm assuming those people, similar to black people, are very proud, maybe somewhat toxic when it comes to sexual abuse and shit. So I'm sure a bunch of girls who were sexually abused by this kid have never come forward because they don't want to deal with the shame or whatever it would cause their parents or the issues, which is fucking crazy. But the numbers of victims are probably super high and they'll never really get an accurate grip around them unless he maybe confesses. But there must be way more than what they found. Must be way more. Because I'm sure when they found the videotapes as well, from the original article I read, the videotapes that they found of him secretly recording these girls that he drugged, they couldn't also make out the faces, or they couldn't identify the people in the videos because they were all from all over. And it was across a long time span. Because I think this guy was a PhD student too.
The Chinese PhD student is now one of the most prolific sexual predators ever seen in the UK.
Hello, you Mr. Zhu by any chance?
This was the 28-year-old being arrested. He'd come to the
Crazy.
UK in 2017, relocating to London 2 years later.
He's been in the UK since 2017. Could you imagine the amount of victims he's probably been able to tally up since that time? Drugging them, raping them. Fucking crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he found them all through Hinge and stuff and Bumble and those dating apps. And he'd get to dating them and all the girls reported the same sort of shit. They'd go back to his house, have some food or whatever, and they'd somehow black out and they wouldn't remember large parts of the night. You know? Which is probably the times that he took advantage of them. Fucking crazy, sick guy, man.
Zhou targeted fellow students, drugging them, then sexually attacking them.
Zhao is a serial rapist and a danger to women. His life sentence reflects the heinous acts and harm he caused to the women and the danger he poses to
Oh, it's 25 years of life sentence.
society.
I thought it was 35 years.
We have always been determined to seek justice for both the unidentified and identified victims in this case.
In his trial, jurors heard Zhou would meet his potential victims on Chinese social networking apps like WeChat or Little Red Book.
By the way, look at that fucking face tune, innit? He does not look like that in real life. That's a hell of a face tune, innit? That's a hell of a face tune. Because he did not look like that when you open the door. The kid that opened the door did not look like that. That is a one hell of a... Look at that. Even the mugshot. That allegedly is meant to... This is meant to be the same guy. So not only was he raping these women, he was also catfishing them. Because that's not the same person.
In this case.
In his trial, jurors heard Zhou would meet his potential victims on Chinese social networking apps like WeChat or Little Red Book. He would eventually drug them and position cameras like this to film them unconscious.
Jesus Christ.
Police found almost 1,300 videos.
1,300 videos. Oh my fucking God.
In custody, Zhou was unresponsive as he was shown the brutal footage. Today in court, victim impact statements were read out on behalf of those who survived.
Look at him just sitting there eating a chocolate bar, sipping his coffee as they show him the videos of him abusing these girls, taking advantage of these girls, raping these girls. He's just sitting there like nothing's going on, like it's not a big deal. He's sitting like he's watching some series on Netflix. Absolute scumbag. Absolute scumbag.
Survived his attacks. One woman said, "Stumbling out of the room, I found myself in a completely unknown place, exposed and violated without my consent. Even now, thinking about it makes me physically sick."
Jesus Christ.
She went on, "For a long time afterwards, I blamed myself, wondering if I had given him the wrong impression. I hated him, but I also hated myself for failing to protect my own body. He preyed on my vulnerability."
I bet that's a common thought around a lot of women who suffer sexual assault, isn't it? So sad, isn't it? I wonder, that's probably a very common thought, the blaming of yourself, when really it's nothing to do with you. You are not, you do not, you shouldn't blame yourself. It's the monster that took advantage, that kind of preyed on you, that abused, that did all that heinous stuff. That's the person that should be receiving all the blame. It's kind of wild what it kind of must do to people's brains, minds and shit. So I have a lot of sympathy and empathy to the women out there who don't want to come forward and don't want to deal with this, because it must be a lot to give evidence, to put yourself forward in these type of things, to have to relive this type of shit. It's fucking horrible.
Following his conviction, police in the UK reached out to potential...
Look at that. Honestly, that is a fucking catfish, isn't it? That's a proper face-tuned catfish. Look at that. Completely different people.
Victims in China with this appeal. Prosecutors today said 24 women across both countries have come forward.
Zoe is a vile and depraved individual who committed the most cowardly and wicked of crimes.
We got Joe MIA. We go over a lot of grapey individuals on this channel, innit? Yeah, we actually do. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, to be honest. But I guess it's in the news. They kind of have to talk about it a little bit. And obviously with, comedians having their long history of dicey shit involving women and stuff like this, it's maybe kind of lends itself to it. I don't know. It's not the best. I know. It's a bit of a downer. It's not the best stuff to kind of talk about, but it's only a short clip. We'll move on after this. Don't worry.
The sheer scale of his offending, which spanned 2 countries, makes him one of the most prolific predators we have ever seen.
Zoe is now reflecting on what has taken place, his barrister told the court. But he has otherwise given no other clues to explain his depraved behaviour or any idea as to how many women were affected by it.
Well, let's speak to Julian, who's outside the court in central London for us now. Good evening to you, Julian. What was Zoe's reaction then in court?
Hi, Danny. It was similar to those custody videos you just saw. No expression.
Powerful bunch.
Big ol' sizes.
He'll be okay. They're an open seat on Golden Hour.
Jesus Christ. He could take over for Chin, innit? He could also take over for Chin. He could be Nick's new producer partner guy.
However, he has never acknowledged any of his crimes. Now, the court heard today, bizarrely, that Zoe offered to be chemically castrated in order to get a shorter sentence. That is when special drugs...
What the fuck? His lawyers offered him to get medically castrated, chemically castrated. Excuse me? This is a sick guy.
Drugs are used to suppress sexual urges. Now, the prosecutor said his offer showed a very minimal insight into his offending. Separately, you heard there the police saying that 24 women have come forward. They still believe there are 50 women or so out there who may have been attacked by Zoe. Clearly, it suggests that a trial or trials could be on the horizon at some point in the future.
Wow, so he could go back on trial again. He could go back on trial again. 50 people out there. Anyway, glad he got that long sentence, man. Piece of shit. Should bury him under the jail. Bury him under the jail. Okay? Cool. Moving on. Next clip. This is courtesy of this channel called JJ or JWW Uncut. Look who it features. Tom Segura takes keys to a $4 million Koenigsegg. How you say that brand name? Koenigsegg supercar, I guess, hypercar. Tom Segura doesn't really like talking about cars anymore or money or anything else. He seems to kind of run away from that subject matter ever since the poor stuff and whatever else it may be. So it's funny to see him pop up on these other channels talking about, flashy stuff, talking about flossing stuff, flexing stuff. So let's see Tom Segura drive this car. I'm not too sure if it's his, if he's just driving a rental, what's going on. But I'm curious to see if this little clip is better than anything on Drive Fast or Gas. Is Tom Segura trying to take, you know, some viewers away from Brendan's Dry Fast or Gas? Or are these two completely different shows? It's the battle. It's the battle of the comedian car It's a battle of the comedian car content creators.
Whoa! 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 That's really close. Like really close.
I just did it's really close. Don't worry, it's fine. Holy dude, that scared the out of me. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Oops, it's cold. Outside of the weight penalties, it's the best of both worlds. You've got the throttle response of an electric car with a V12. Yeah, it's mad. It's incredible.
But it's smooth.
Yeah, super smooth.
At low speeds.
Dude, you could daily drive this thing. I mean, we could put this into EV now and just swan.
Go on then.
Do you know what is crazy? And it's not to be underestimated. The engineering sophistication of being able to mate that and do that seamlessly is unbelievable. Like how seamlessly it just went, oh, have 12 cylinders without any interruption at all.
Just in the area, we're just a sucker for cars, so we went to these guys. And then, oh look, there's a Porsche dealer over there, so we thought, why don't we walk over there as well and just, you know, see what's what. So, yeah, it's cool, man.
Do you remember when Brendan used to drive Ferraris? Do you remember when Brendan used to drive Ferraris? Crazy times, isn't it? Now that he's in a garage somewhere in Austin, baking, melting with the lights switching on and off. But do you remember there was a time where Brendan was driving Ferraris? Honestly, man, what a crazy guy, man. What a crazy guy. Always, I never really understood people who kind of spend above their means, but their actual base means is pretty decent. Like, Brendan still was making a decent amount of money back then, but not a decent amount of money that would justify buying a Ferrari, really, right? Didn't make any sense. But he wanted to do it to kind of show off and obviously to prove to the haters that he was still successful when he got kind of, you know, fired or his contract didn't get renewed at Showtime. I think so. That green Ferrari, I think, was more of him trying to put a middle finger up to Showtime and maybe the haters, as opposed to him actually buying it because he wanted it. So it's a strange thing anyway. But I just think in general, like, why would you want to appear like you have the money of some retired NFL player when really you don't, and you're just a comedian podcaster guy? That's not that bad. You still got a decent amount of money. You can still probably afford some nice things. But the whole Ferrari arc was so bizarre to me. Was so odd. Like, you know, using it as part of Food Truck Diaries when it's not really a truck. When it's not, I don't know. And then, you know, what, leaving the chicken sandwiches in the boot or in the trunk and then serving them to fucking Francis Ngannou cold and shit. What a funny time. What a funny fucking time.
Of course, yeah. Cool. All right.
See his face.
Big up Sada Z's. The issue with these cars is that they're built from the top to bottom by the company. So anything you need done or part replaced has to go back to Koenigsegg, or however you say the name. Koenigsegg. Probably takes months and costs so much. Yeah, true. There's actually a new one. There's a new Koenigsegg that I saw them review. Maybe this is the one they're reviewing on CarWow. Did you guys see that one? That was fucking beautiful. There's a new one that they reviewed on CarWow. I watched that recently. Oh, fucking gorgeous. Let me see if I can get, I'll show you the picture of it. But that one looked really cool. I think it's like a 50th anniversary one or something. So yeah, what Aziz is saying is true. You know, having to replace it is probably going to be a ball ache, but they do look pretty fucking crazy. Let me check it out. Let me show you what I mean. I'll just show you the thumbnail. I won't play the clip, and then we go back to the clip and move on. But it's this one. Where is it? Yeah, that's the one. That white one there. I watched that one. So that's the I think it's the 50th anniversary one. This white one. It's so fucking gorgeous. So fucking gorgeous.
Not into it.
Oh, that's that Watch Guy. Big up Joel from MIA. If you watch Doug DeMauro, he talks about how the Koenigsegg are so overrated and nearly all of them need expensive repairs, even new ones from the factory. Am I the only person who isn't too fond of that Doug guy? My reason for not liking him is kind of weird. I remember once, ages ago, that Doug Morrow guy, he was doing like an AMA question thing, right? And I think somebody asked him, I think on live stream actually, maybe it was during COVID, and somebody asked him about going to Europe to review, because I think there's a bunch of cars that a lot of people want him to review, some of which he can't review out there in the States, or some of which are maybe, you know, more popular here, I don't know. And he was very dismissive about going anywhere else out of the States. Like, it's not needed. Who gives a fuck about, like, I don't know what he said, but the answer was really weird. Like, why are you being, like, I don't know, it was very dismissive, very kind of like lacking in curiosity to go anywhere else. I can get all the cars I need here. They could all come here. Like, it's just so weird, the response. And I think ever since then, I've kind of gotten off him. I used to watch quite a bit of his stuff, but I kind of gotten off him. And also, obviously, the channel itself, you know, it's not the most exciting, dynamic one. With the angles and shit, he's just doing the reviews by himself. I don't know. It kind of rubbed me up the wrong way. It's a strange thing to say, but him being so like dismissive of the idea of traveling anywhere else in the world to go and review other cars was really odd. Because I think he's known for that. He's known to not really travel, and he only likes to kind of, you know, review cars in America, which is understandable, I guess, because maybe traveling to America to anywhere else is quite long. But I don't know, man. That Doug guy is a bit weird.
First drive in the Revelto. Love it. It's left, right? I think so. Left side of the road, yeah.
But what I do like about him, to be fair, really strange comment, I think his podcast is actually better than his car reviews. I love to hear his opinion about like cars in general in the industry. I quite enjoy it. I kind of learn a lot as well, or kind of hear the other side. I literally I swear I prefer that podcast thing he does over the car reviews, personally. And the car reviews, I think the old ones are way better too. The newer ones I'm not the biggest fan of. But again, I don't even drive, so I'm not the right person to speak about these type of things.
Hi. I like that. This is my first time in the Revuelto, and apparently.
That's that guy that busts people wearing fake watches, isn't it? I think.
Revuelto means scrambled. Oh, does it? So not scramble. Let's not scramble this.
This guy's pretty fat as well. He can fit in a Lamborghini. So I guess they make Lamborghinis quite spacious on the inside, innit? They look really low to the ground and very thin, but I guess they must be very spacious on the inside, because this guy's kind of fat and he looks very comfortable here. Look at the clearance of where the steering wheel is from his leg. Like he looks very comfy.
That's unreal. Right, we're not doing Strada, we do sport. That is funny, mate. It's nice, isn't it? The driving position of this is spectacular.
Big up Ason. AZ, you can't drive or choose not to. I can't drive, but it's also a London thing. A lot of people in London don't drive. It's similar to a place like New York, right? It's very congested. The public transport's pretty decent. So it's not really a need to drive in London, you know? There's congestion charge everywhere. People charge for parking. It's pretty crazy. And obviously there's a lot of car theft here as well. So if you want to drive in London, you have to decide you want to drive. Yeah, it's a decision. A lot of people that I know that drive in London, usually they live just outside of London, or they just enjoy driving. But that's not the best place to drive, I'm not going to lie. There's traffic lights everywhere, zebra crossings, speed bumps. You can't, like, if you had a Lamborghini in London, it's a bit pointless. You can't really, you know, let it go, you know? There's obviously motorways, but motorways, there's a speed limit. There's cameras on there all the time. It's pretty shit. When I eventually do move, because that's the plan is, you know, if all goes well, or not if all goes well, when all goes well, the plan is to move to somewhere like Manchester or something, right, up north. And when I move there, I think I'll start to learn to drive. I think I'll start, or maybe before I move there, I'll get my license and stuff, because that obviously allow me to kind of, you know, be able to move my shit easier, and just allow me to kind of drive up and down if I need to come back to London for some stuff. So I think when I decide to eventually move out of London, I will decide to learn to drive.
Right, it is so different than Aventador. Your visibility is so, like, you've so much more visibility. It's wild. I can get used to this, you know. Mate, you should get one. James, mate, James. I'm just gonna steal this car, James. I see you later, lad. I know. I'm in Belfast somewhere. Stick a revolt on EV mode. Are you out of your mind? Yeah, if you want to just chill. No, mate, we're on the motorway. No, you don't put a revolt. Yeah, no. We're on the motorway earlier, just chilling. It was wicked.
So why can't Brendan do this type of content? What's Brendan missing for this? This is not that, you know, it's not that fucking crazy production wise. Why can't Brendan do this type of content? What's he lacking? Charisma, likability, talent? Like, what is Brendan lacking from doing this? Why can't he make some engaging car-based content like this? Is it really that hard? Or is Brendan really that bad at it?
The EV mode, everyone's come out to see the car. EV mode is only for make sure you go through registration. You don't use it. That is genuinely spectacular. I said to Yorkie, mate, this is so easy. He loves it. It's just like,
it's so easy.
but you know what the difference is with the Aventador, right? The Aventador, you sit in the air. It's so far in front.
Yeah.
Big up Asad Aziz, because no one's letting him behind a multi-million-dollar car after he flipped his truck. Well, good point. Driving ability, contacts, knowledge, creativity, personality. Big up Ason. This guy is just a fat for European. Next to a Yank, you look svelte. That's actually a good point, Ason. He's maybe fat for a European, but how much he looks skinny next to Wings of Redemption, isn't it? But still, I think the Lambo, is it Lambo, right? I think the Lambo's got interesting design. Because it looks really small from the outside in, but I guess they must clever trick perception wise on the inside. Maybe because it's so thin, there's actually a lot more room in there. So even if you're a bigger dude, fat dude, tall dude, you can actually fit in there pretty well, even though it looks very small and there's not enough space in there. I guess inside it's actually a lot bigger. Clever design trick that.
It's like you could land a plane on the
Yeah,
dash.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is perfect.
So effortless.
Yeah,
It's
effortless.
kind of like a Hyper Bentley, isn't it? It's way bigger than it looks. It's massive.
It's brilliant.
That's a double bed.
Look at it.
You couldn't stand up in it, but it's big.
Yeah, big up Pre-Ban for Loco. I still think he doesn't even like cars that much. Oh, controversial opinion. It's a grift and we can tell. Brendan doesn't even like cars that much. I think he does like them, but I don't think he likes them the way he maybe is trying to make it seem like he's this you know what I mean? Like, I think he does like cars because let's be honest, from the beginning of when we known him, he's always been, but yes, he copied Rogan with the whole Porsche thing, but he has kind of been into buying cars. So I think he's always liked having cars and the status symbol, the way it makes him feel spending that bit of money, whatever, right? He kind of likes that. But is he like a car, body shop, mod shop, garage guy and stuff? No. Does he like buying new shiny things, including cars? Yes. So yeah, I agree. That's actually a really interesting theory.
But it's a nightmare to set up. Right.
Not bad, is it?
Right, Nico. Here we go. Ghost it. Ghost it and lock it all. Shut it all down.
How do we do that?
Well, the wee button that's got a ghost on it. Right, close it.
Yeah, big up Sada Aziz. That's a great point too. The side part is Nico driving here isn't even a car guy. Bappa parades himself as a gearhead, and no one cares. Exactly. Most of the best content anyway doesn't, you know, it doesn't really matter if you're an expert or not. It's just about somebody that's enthusiastic. Like I watch one particular guy. There's a bunch of them that do this, that go to auctions and they decide to buy, like, I don't know, written off cars in auction and try to make them road legal again. And it's pretty interesting. Some of these channels are just a clip, like, you know, a time lapse of them fucking fixing a car. Some of them is the entire time that they go. It's an entire live stream, 10+ hours of them going to pick up the car, take it back to their garage and work on it. And people like myself watch that in the background or just check it out and kind of get some satisfaction out of seeing them kind of figure it out, not figuring it out, buy new parts. So it's really not really about even the expertise. It's just about, can you make something somewhat compelling for people to watch?
Close it separately. Spin it. That's it. So you put your foot on the brake.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah,
on the brake.
that's it.
That's
yeah.
it.
and then tap.
Yeah, a lot of these cars are really big on the inside, isn't it? Look at that. Even this, the KOENIGSEGG guy, the
powerful bunch.
Because all these.
He did it because Rogan told him to make a car review channel. Rogan got the idea because he saw Andrew Tate do car reviews while being banned on YouTube. It was a way for Baba to monetize online without the same hadgers following him.
Ah, okay. That's actually a good point. Yeah. But again, I think if he came into it with a level of sincerity or something, he would have been fine. But he immediately came out the gates trying to act like he was an expert. I've always been into cars. He lied about his origin story of being into cars. That he fell in love with cars because of watching Need for Speed and shit. And that lightning that was in it, it's like, come on, bro. Come on. Shut up, man. That's all made up. Such a made up story.
The starter once. That's now in EV mode. Keep your foot on the brake and tap it again. So, there's no reverse button. The down paddle puts it from neutral, reverse. So the up paddle puts it into gear. There's no first. It's a direct drive, single gear. So you just pull what is conventionally the up paddle, that puts it in drive. And then if you need to reverse, stop the car, down neutral, down reverse. Okay? Okay.
Good luck with that. It's only 4 million quid, mate. Yeah. No pressure.
That must be nerve-wracking to fucking test drive, innit? A $4 million fucking car. Fucking hell. No thank you.
Alright. It's not warmed up yet, so it won't let me go past 5,500 RPM until it's warm. It kind of warms up and then releases more RPM. Classic
Powerful bunch.
Dealership day.
Big up younger vibes.
Baba's car knowledge consists of electric bad gas good Tfatk go room.
Exactly. Electric car bad gas good. Keep it go. That's actually a good idea for a t-shirt or something. That's incredible. Keep it take a room. I love that. That is so hilarious. Keep it take go. Big up young old vibes. What a legend.
Hey, coffees, dealership, bit of chat.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Looks like a transformer. Fucking hell.
When was that?
That was October when I had a buzz cut and everything.
They're in Scotland. They're in Scotland.
No way. So that was.
Oh, that was at the meet just between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I was actually hoping to see us again.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, big up the kids, man. They came and met this guy outside the hotel. Imagine, honestly, having kids is wild, isn't it? Having kids is wild, right? Your teenage kids explaining to you that they go into a hotel to go meet some YouTuber who review cars. And you as a parent have to decide if you're going to trust them or not. If you're going to permit them to go. They're like, Mum, Dad, I'm going to this hotel downtown to go and meet this car review guy that I like watching on YouTube. He's got this really fancy car that I want to see. Is it right if I go? What? You mean a man in the hotel? Not at the hotel, in front of the hotel.
James, come in. Come in.
Can I have a photo with you as well?
Are you sure you want a photo with me?
Oh, of course.
Really? All right, dude. Thanks very much. That's very kind of you.
Smile.
You guys are legends.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Glasgow,
that.
welcome once again. I know you've been here lots of times.
I like it up here. That's great. Oh!
Hey, let her have it, son.
Huh?
The context
What we
is
did?
we were
We
just
don't do
saying
context.
Tom Segura's team just pulled up out front in a silver Sprinter, popped his head out and was like, oh no, there's loads of people outside. Quick, around the back. All it is car spotters. Looking at these cars.
Of course, Tom Segura saw people in front of the hotel and ran away. If that was Bert Kreischer, he would have jumped out of that Sprinter and took his t-shirt off. Tom did the opposite. He thought, nah, fuck that. If they're fans, I don't want to talk to them. Pores. Fuck the pores. Tom went round the back.
I'm like the daddy of sorting shit out, yeah?
Big up, Coiler. My parents didn't even believe me when I was going to my friends. Yeah, same. Embarrassingly, when I was because I lived at home until when? 22, 21? I wasn't really allowed to go over friends' houses until maybe I was like 18 or something. I swear to God. I swear my parents didn't let me go to friends. But to be fair to them, they saved me from a lot of shit. Because at that age, a lot of crazy shit happens in people's houses. I avoided a lot of stuff. But I wasn't allowed to go over, even like, not even girls, like just friends' houses. Until maybe 18, 19 years of age. And even then, loads of conditions, curfews, all that shit.
You are literally the opposite of that. So what are we doing, Nico? Set some context for the people.
No, we're gonna go to Tom Segura and we're gonna... You stop stressing. I get these tickets, yeah? They're at the box office.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Okay. Yeah. They're stressing, including you. Right, I'm gonna ask here. You get away. I got this.
Let's watch this unfold. It's brilliant.
Quick question. Somewhere, right? They say it's box office. They're there.
Yeah, so box office ahead of night. They seem to follow the boat around and you get the SEC Centre. It's a bad building, so you just go halfway through there. That's the box office.
All right, and then there is it. Okay, no worries. Thank you. How are you, lads? You well? Told you I'm gonna. It's all sorted, mate. Right? I still have no idea where they are, but it's like.
See that? I can see a queue forming here. I've got a funny feeling. I got a funny feeling we're going to be in this.
He came onto a Teams call earlier with this chain and a turtleneck on, and I sent him that picture.
Show me. Yeah.
Wow. Big up Joe from MIA. If I visit my parents now, they still ask me where I'm going. If I leave and I'm 30, yeah. Parents always gonna do that. Big up the parents. Yeah, big up the parents. Put 9 going on Sprinter's hilarious. Big up Josie. My dad tried pulling that shit after I graduated and I had a full-time job. I mean that. Big up parents, man. Big up parents. Fucking hell.
That is true, actually. Yeah.
Dylan, that's sick.
I told you not to worry.
Open them.
I told you not to worry.
In there. Well, here's some context. We just left the hotel before him.
Before Tom Segura.
So that's
we left
how
the hotel.
laid back Tom is.
Yeah. And he's supposed to start in 5 minutes. That's not too bad.
Yeah, he fell off stage last night.
No, in Dublin he fell. This was a few nights ago.
And he busted all his side up, and he reckons he dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. What is wrong with Tom Segura? He broke his arm trying to do a layup in the fucking YMCA, and then what? He fell off stage in Ireland. Fucking hell. He's a real klutz, that guy, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
Crying at times. Actually crying. You know when you cannot breathe?
I could hear you.
Dude, I was crying with laughter.
Wow, man. They actually love Tom Segura. Big up MM. Or sis, my grandma still corrects me and makes me say yes, grandma, after every sentence I say to her, and I'm 33.
Some of it was, some topics and jokes just like resonate with you. It's the stuff that you particularly find funny. Dude, you hit a load of those nails.
You really did.
Oh my god. Bro. So that will magnetize if you look just above your...
No wonder Tom sorted them out with tickets, eh? No wonder Tom made sure to sort these guys out with tickets. No wonder he made sure to sort them out with tickets. Look at his eyes. He wants one, innit? He wants one. He wants one. He wants one of those cars badly. Big up Young God Vibes. As a clumsy person, I can relate. Is he clumsy or is he just like accident prone? What do you think Tom Segura is? Is he clumsy or just accident prone, or are they both the same things?
Your right knee on the dash. There's an outline shape of a shield. If you put the shiny side on that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you turn it around, it should.
This side?
Yeah, that's it. So once the key's in there, that's sort of it, like armed, as it were. Yeah, it's mad. And then you can. It's funny because even though it has paddle shift, because it's got no conventional gear set, the paddle shift is for just selecting drive. So up paddle is just to put it into drive, and then almost weirdly, like a sort of, you use this to put it into neutral and then into reverse, and it reverses on the EV power. And then it's odd because there's no gears after that. So what you can do when you drive,
he's standing out, innit? He's fanning out. He's trying to act normal and chill, but this guy's really fanning out. You can tell he loves Tom Segura. Tom Segura's his favorite comedian. He's really trying to keep his composure, but he's like, he's like, oh my god, I'm sitting next to Tom Segura. Yeah, he's kind of fanning out. He's so excited.
thing along, if you press the down paddle, it sort of provides this moment of boost where it allocates the highest RPM available at that time, depending on what speed you're doing.
It does it automatically.
Yeah, so it'll just go, okay, this is the maximum rev range to give you the most power.
This is insane.
I mean, we've had Christian von Koenigsegg explain it to me on camera, like, probably 10 times now, and I'm just like,
yeah,
sure,
oh, I get
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah,
I'm just like, man.
Oh, when you say it like that.
Totally, yeah. Darren and I have the Koenigsegg dealership over here. We also have a red Jesko as well, which is the car that came after this. It's a little bit more track bias.
Which one is the four-seater one?
Four-seater is the Jumeirah.
Yeah, okay.
That thing's crazy.
Crazy. It's like, oh, this is my family car.
Yeah, family car. It's got.
This is why they want to do arenas. This is why they're talking about arenas, mate. They like their toys, isn't it, comedians? Comedians like their toys. This is why they want to do arenas.
Like, it's got like the world's fastest rated, like wind tunnel tested roof box.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking crazy. It's 2,300 horsepower. Like, in what world was that? Like, yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea, right? I know.
So you guys move a lot of units, like a lot for
I mean,
for London.
Biggest challenge with Koenigsegg is they don't make.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Koenigsegg. Koenigsegg. Koenigsegg.
A lot of cars.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge is trying to get chassis to sell. So that when they say they're going to make 80 cars, that is it. There's no special editions coming. It's just that's 80 cars.
Yeah, all are special editions.
And generally when they announce it, they sell out quite fast.
If you're in the car right now,
that's pretty insane to think there are people in the world who snap up $4 million cars, isn't there? Like, there are people out there who are living well in it. There are some people out there who are paid up, money just overflowing, where they can just drop. It's like a supreme drop. Koenigsegg car comes out, boom, they're on it. Add to cart, check out. You know, 4 million plus. Like, god damn.
You wanted the door to close. Do you press a button?
Yeah. So hinges here. They're called dihedral synchrohelix doors.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Sure,
Right.
Man.
I know. Right. You're like, sure thing, dude. But it's something to do with the fact that it rotates, goes up and out at the same time. So it's bonkers. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing. Right. So literally, foot on the brake, pull the gear up paddle. Yep. That's it, man.
Bye, guys.
First of all, what's it like being in a right-hand drive car?
It's very strange.
Is it odd? The weirdest thing.
I won't be insulted if at any moment you go, dude.
You're like, dude. That's cool. And then we're just going straight on.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Does it feel as you expected it might?
Well,
I know we're going like 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, so it's funny when you drive cars like this.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never driven one of these, but like, you know, like a 765 LT McLaren or something, where you go, oh, the car is going like, oh, hey man, like, hit it, like take me somewhere where you can open
it.
You can just.
Big up Joe from MIA. I ask you, AZ, what color is your Koenigsegg? Doesn't that, when you say that line, doesn't it sound like you're asking me what color my dick is or something? You know what I mean? What color is your Koenigsegg? Just sounds like some. It sounds like some weird sexual innuendo or something, you know? Big up Joe from MIA.
Feel that the thing is like
just tense for it.
Yes, yeah. Is this your favorite of the Koenigsegg ones, or no?
My favorite's the Jesko attack. It's more raw. Like this is a strange statement. This is more like a Hyper Grand Tourer. So it's a real cross-continental missile almost. Whereas the Jesko platform is the 765.
He's driving mighty close to the cars on the side. Maybe because he's not used to right-hand car drives. But I feel like the left-hand side is way too close to these cars that are parked. Tom is like leaning, you know? He's kind of steering the car to the left. It's mighty close to scraping one of these cars on the side.
5LT of the Koenigsegg one.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my foot slept off the pedal.
Yeah, we're actually just going for a drive around the block, and then we're going back to the Dakota Hotel.
No bother, take your time.
Thank you.
Be careful, a lot of pedestrians, a lot of bus lanes, alright?
Thanks very much.
Fuck out of me. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
You're all good. Yeah, the 765 is an interesting reference. So imagine
these brakes are insane.
They're nuts. Yeah. Imagine the like maximum acceleration of a 765 LT up to its maximum speed. This keeps pulling at that same rate all the way to its top speed. It just like
I wonder how nerve-wracking it is to drive a car this expensive, this powerful, and this guy's just talking the entire time. He's excited, obviously, but you're trying to focus if you're Tom Segura, not to fuck up, not to fucking break the car, not to crash it. And this guy is just talking and downloading every bit of Koenigsegg fucking information into your brain. You're kind of tempted to tell him to shut the fuck up, but he's also quite interesting what he's talking about. He's clearly passionate, and he's obviously letting you drive his car, so you can't really tell him to shut the fuck up, you know? So it's like,
never drops off. It's a strange thing to
and that,
share, actually.
You said that the comp for that is called the Jesko?
Yes, so the platform that was launched after this was called the Jesko.
Left here, you think?
Yeah, and that's a lot more of like a driver focus. It's not quite track, but it's a bit more track bias. This is what I would call a suboptimal experience.
Yeah.
So
this
it'd
is
be
like
it'd be a shame to get in a Koenigsegg and not have a bit of
I remember
power.
one time I was like, you know, I was going to buy a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to drive it.
Sure. Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were in LA, and we did what we're doing.
Oh, yeah. And
he was like, so
what do you think?
I was like, come on, man. Like,
really?
Doing it.
Yeah. Cool. For me, the thing with not just Koenigsegg's, like hypercars in general, I think irony of a hypercar is you're paying for everything you don't see.
Yeah.
Because the engineering is so extreme, but unless you have the ownership experience, it's rare that you actually experience that.
Yeah. With these doors alone, you're like, yeah, dude.
I remember my biggest like aha moment with Koenigsegg was after a factory tour, and you spend time with the brand, like get under the skin, and you're like, oh, these guys are operating on a whole different
This is a different
level.
thing.
Like, yeah. Merge here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, this is gonna go into one lane, brakes. This is gonna go into one lane. Yeah.
fucking hell, that must be fun though. That must be fun. Driving that fucking Scandinavian Batmobile down a fucking narrow fucking British fucking motorway, or, you know, UK motorway or whatever. God almighty, that must be fun. Oh, fuck the speed cameras. We taking all the tickets. We taking all the tickets.
Unreal.
Cool. All right. Brilliant. There you go. So out of your cars, which is the go-to? If you're going for a sunny
Out of your cars. Let's see how Tom answers this one, because he doesn't like answering them on comedy shows. Tom Segura doesn't like talking about his cars on comedy shows anymore. Out of your cars, which one is the best one? Let's see what he says.
Sunday drive.
Honestly, I keep saying this, but
yeah,
that GT4 I have, is as a driving experience.
They're so complete, aren't they?
It's so fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
And I had
a nice GT4, huh? A nice GT4, lovely. Big up Young Gold Vibes. I was gonna get one, but I only buy American made. But his Bappa, exactly. I could definitely hear him saying that.
it modified, so it's pretty great.
Mega.
Shorter gears.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Nice.
bigger.
Very cool.
Output. Like they bore out the engine, made it like a
really.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But like the piste is crazier, I guess. The trucks are, it's all like what you're going for at the time.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Have you tried a GT4 RS?
No,
dude.
Right?
The engine, because it is the GT3 Cup car engine.
But I've heard it's fantastic though, right?
It's amazing thing. It's amazing. Revs to 9, and because the engine's like in the cockpit with you, it sounds incredible.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That's a cool thing, man.
This was very cool. Thank you for letting me do this.
Not at all, man. It's cool. Thanks for having us at the show.
I wish I had several million more dollars.
I mean,
that's an easy exchanger, isn't it? That's probably the easiest tickets he's ever had to kind of give away or to comp, innit? That's an easy exchange. A couple of tickets, VIP quote unquote, so you can drive this fucking $4 million car around. Like, that must be fun. That's an easy swap. Easy swap.
Bonkers price, aren't they? They are absolutely insane. Absolutely mad.
So are you really into watches too, or no?
I like watches as an owner, but I'm not a watch guy like Nico.
Gotcha.
So we run an automotive YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And even though cars and watches are totally different genres, they're inextricable, right? Like they're
always tied together. And watch guys are always like I like cars.
Yeah, exactly.
I like watches.
Yeah,
right?
same.
I think it's their mechanical.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
There's
Do only rich guys like cars and watches, or is it something that applies to all dudes? I don't really give a fuck about watches. I'm like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'll stick with my G-Shocks. I don't give a fuck about watches whatsoever. Zero. I think they all look pretty horrible. But like, and also cars, like it's not all about driving the fancy ones. I'm into kind of older cars as well and shit. But yeah, I wonder if that's just like a thing, like when it happens when when you get older, a lot of guys get into golf. I wonder if it's just like a thing when you get rich, you just get into like really expensive luxury sports cars and shit because you have the money to afford them, and you also get into watches because it's one of the ultimate signs of wealth. If you can afford to like have somebody's house on your wrist, maybe that's what it is. It's just not even a thing of like, oh, you're into it. It just happens when you get older. You spend all you bought all the houses, you've got all the clothes or whatever else. There's nothing else to get, so you start getting into watches. And it's also a bit of a hobby as well, right? If you can make it into a hobby, you can start getting into the mechanical side of things. You can start getting into the history side of things. Maybe you can meet new friends. I don't know. I just find it kind of corny and weird how everyone that's into really expensive cars also likes really expensive watches. Like, do you have to like those horrible watches that Conor McGregor wears and shit? Really? I don't know.
There's also like whatever your level of enthusiasm is, it
totally
applies to both,
Yeah, man. That's it. I was working at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, which you're going to do one day.
Oh my God.
You have to do that one day. And I met Nico there years back now, and we just hit it off,
That's all.
Big up Asad Aziz pushing 30 and wearing a G-Shock. It's unacceptable, AZ. Yeah, it might be unacceptable, but I'ma still do it, man. G-Shocks all the way. G-Shocks all the way. If I didn't have a G-Shock, I'd have one of those. Do you remember that watch that everyone bought, or when everyone had when you were a kid? That one that lasts like 15 years, battery-wise, and I think it has a calculator on it. Is it? Oh no, it's just a simple watch. There's a calculator one too, but that's what I'm on. Like, I don't really give a fuck, Like, G-Shocks are great as well. Fucking great watches. Mostly waterproof, water resistant. Come in a bunch of different colors and designs. streetwear collaboration ones. There's quite a lot of cool ones you can get, and they're usually all under what, like £80 or something, maybe $100 max. Yeah, fuck a G-Shock over a fucking AP, Rolex, Richard Mille, all that shit. Cartier. Give me a fucking G-Shock any day of the week.
Awesome. He was getting into cars. I was getting into watches, and it was the perfect like complementing time.
And is your main thing though? Because you said the dealership. So is Koenigsegg like your main?
No.
Yeah, big up Black American. That's where all the other rich people are. The deals get done on the golf course. They show what they are in the club and with the right gear. Yeah, great point. Great point, Black American. Great point.
So, it's fortunately it's one of them.
Okay, cool.
So the dealership's been open 2 years now, so it's still new.
That's very new.
It's still new. But it all started through YouTube, and then we grew a fairly engaged audience, and we were able to launch companies and brands off the back of that.
That's awesome.
Which has been great. And as cheesy and cliche as it sounds, YouTube changed my whole life, man.
That's awesome, dude.
It was amazing.
Do you have a brand in car world that you're the biggest fan of? Like, are you an advocate for one of them above all, or no?
Porsche guy.
Yeah, that's my favorite too, man.
Yeah.
That's why I was so jacked to see that ST.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, if I'd have known, dude, that would have been cool.
So I just got a lead on a car. It's a 964 RS.
All right, nice.
In like a pretty rare cobalt blue color.
Fantastic.
39,000 miles.
A 964, 39,000 miles? Yeah. Bro, 964 is a stunning, man. It's a cool thing.
You know how you go like, one of these cars will complete me?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
When I got the Pista, I was like, oh, this is going to be like my favorite thing ever.
Cool. Straight. Yeah.
And I'm like,
and then after a while, you're like,
I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's an amazing car.
Yeah.
But like, I prefer the Porsches.
It's the other thing that I cannot find anything that sort of scratches the itch is the high revving, naturally aspirated Porsche flat six. Like when that thing whips to 8.5, 9, dude, there's something like,
I know.
Like when you get bitten by the Porsche bug, like it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, yeah.
It's funny because I've got friends who are really diehard car people who have never really been bitten. And they're like, they all look the same. Like, what's this GTS? What's this GT? Like, they're all the same thing, no? And I'm like, dude, they are not the same thing. Right?
Yeah, this feels weird.
Yeah, I bet.
Making eye contact with people on the bus feels weird. And they're like, we're on the bus. And I'm like, I'm in this thing.
Yeah, I'm in this spaceship. All right.
It costs, but a building costs.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to forget how much it costs. Right.
Yeah.
We're going to go right
here,
and we're good to go right here. So go the other side of that bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, cool.
No, I appreciate it.
So I don't mean to talk to you like you're learning to drive.
I'm a toddler, dude. I like it.
Sorry,
I feel a lot better in this with a lot of instruction.
Okay, and then just here we're going to go left.
At this light?
At this light.
Okay.
But it's going to turn, so it's cool. So we can hang here.
I'm trying to be just very careful.
But in a minute we're going to go left.
Okay, so wait here?
Yeah.
Is there like wait on, turn on red like there is?
Not like in the US. No.
Okay.
If it is that you can turn on a signal, it'll tell you can turn on a signal.
Oh, I got you.
With a green. It took me some adapting actually when I was in the US.
People are like,
you could
go
right on red. I'm like, really? People honking their horn at me.
The only times you can't, it literally says no right on red.
No right on red. Yeah.
I ordered a 296.
Oh yeah.
The Assetto Fiorano package.
Is that the Fiorano pack?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool, man.
I get it in. It was one of those things where, like, you'll get it in 6 months.
What's a 296? 296. What is that? Is that a car? What brand is that? Is that a Porsche? What is that? Ferrari. Ooh hoo hoo. Tom Segura just ordered this. What is it? What's the package you said? It's a package, right? What's a package? What package was it? Maybe it's this one here, right? That one, yeah. I think Tom Segura bought this. The Assetto Fiora. Woohoo! Tom Segura, cheeky boy, huh? You don't talk about cars on the comedy show, but you talk about cars here. Yeah. Comedy paying well. Your mom's house is booming.
96.
Oh yeah.
The Assetto Fiorano package.
Yeah, that's the one he got. Tom Segura got this car. Jesus Christ. Do you think Christina P is not nervous about him leaving her? Big up, is Josie in the chat? Big up Josie, big up Young Old Vibes. If your husband lost a bunch of weight, right? The ladies in the stream chat. If your husband lost a bunch of weight, started looking the best he's ever looked, and started buying like Ferraris and shit, would you be nervous? Like 2-seater Ferraris? Wouldn't you be a little bit worried? Like, he started buying cars like this. Wouldn't you be a little bit worried as a woman? Wouldn't you be a little bit worried? Look at this thing, man. This is beautiful. Fucking beautiful car. Jesus Christ. Tom Segura is looking for an escape route, mate. He does not want to be there anymore. He's looking for a fucking escape route. I don't care what anyone says. God damn. That's a nice car. Yeah, but I'll pick up Younger Vibes. I got a little pool boy on the side. I don't care. Fair, that's fair. That's fair. If he's allowed to have his little side pieces, which are the cars and whatever slaw that gets into the passenger seat, as long as you can have one, then it's fair game, I guess, right? Yeah, that's fair. What do you guys think of the car anyway? What do you guys think of this Assetto Fiora, this fucking Porsche? Oh, sorry, the Porsche, this Ferrari. What do you guys think of it? Yeah, big up Josie. He's fucking someone else or trying to impress somebody. Exactly. Either is bad, isn't it? Either is bad. What do you guys think of the car, by the way? You guys like it? Don't like it? Don't give a shit? Tom Segura's new car, allegedly. He's got one of these ones. He's ordered it anyway. He's ordered it at least. Maybe it's this color. Maybe it's not the yellow one. Maybe it's this color. What do you guys think? Reminds me of a Corvette. I don't like it. You can spot horn dogs. I don't really like the shape of the car itself as hard as these. I don't give a fuck. I have a bike. We got my nuts. That's a perfect answer. Big up what's that, Black American? Uninteresting. I think the car looks uninteresting. It looks fun, yeah. I don't mind it. I just don't. I wish the lights were a bit more aggressive, you know? That's the only thing I don't really like. I wish the lights were a bit bigger. Maybe they kind of reach back around here, around the arch, you know? I want the lights to be a little bit more like, I want them to look a little bit more prominent, you know? I quite like this grille though. This grille on the front is really nice. The skirts are really nice. The wheels are really nice and shit, but I want the lights to be a bit more prominent, you know? That's the only thing I don't like about it. The lights are a little bit too small for my liking. But let's continue on and finish this and we go into Tfatk.
That's at the FIORANO pack?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool, man.
I get it in, you know, it's one of those things where like, you'll get it in 6 months. And then 10 months later, they're like, you'll get it in 12 months.
Big up Ryu Ken. I think there's a lot of people that think like you. Maybe I'm not man enough, but cars do absolutely nothing for me. Just get me from A to B. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people like you. I think a lot of guys out there just, you know, car is pure practicality, A to B shit. That's it. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that really kind of cream over it as much as these guys. It's not that deep.
That's cool. Cool,
okay,
man.
well, we're gonna go left now. Cool. Well, that's cool.
I think that'll be fun.
Great. Yeah. Did you ever drive the SF90?
Never.
Okay. Well, the 296 is a much better car.
Everybody said,
totally.
That ended up being like a bomb for them, right?
Yeah,
like,
weird because it's a better car. It's lighter, shorter wheelbase. It handles better, sounds better.
I'll tell you what I don't hate that a lot of people hate on is the Dodici.
A lot of people hate on this.
Hate on it?
I'm one of those people.
Really? I'm like, yeah, I don't hate it.
Interesting. One thing I will say, I think it's going to age well.
I think so
it's
too.
like controversial now. Yeah, interesting.
Right, it is interesting.
Yeah.
I do think it's that there is this thing too where you have to be kind of realistic where like even the people will say this at some point we're not going to get V12s.
I know.
And they're announcing that they're
I know.
This is the last, and you don't know, like maybe they'll make another but
one day they won't.
It's going to, and like
one day
you have a later V12, it's going to be it is going to age.
Going to be good news. Yeah.
I do get like people have been bummed out with all their new designs.
Go straight over here. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you kind of go like, you know what looks cool? The SP3. That looks
wild. Yeah. But the ingredients of that are good. I mean, carbon tub, NAV12, no hybrid. Yeah, that thing is crazy.
Have you driven one of those?
No, I haven't. But it strikes me as being a LaFerrari without the hybrid.
Did you drive that Aston?
Okay, we're gonna go straight on.
What's it called? The one that he's got?
Yes, I did. The
How
Valkyrie?
crazy is that? Like a similar experience to this or no?
No, totally different.
Because it's track focused, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go right here.
Here?
Yeah, right here. You know the cliche when a brand launches a track-focused road car, and they're like, oh, it's like a race car for the road, and if it isn't, it's like a plush car. The Valkyrie is the epitome of race car for the road.
But somebody told me they went for a lap in one of those. Yeah. I think with a driver.
Right.
And they were like, dude, I felt sick.
Yeah.
They're like, it was.
Yeah.
So intense. These guys are still waiting around.
Dude, the car spotting culture up here is crazy, man. That was fun.
That was
really cool.
Thank you for that.
Not at all.
Lap, bro. That was very cool.
That was a real pleasure,
And,
buddy. Real pleasure. Thanks. thanks for tonight. It was really.
Oh,
it
dude,
was really,
my pleasure, man.
Dude, I couldn't breathe for some moments.
Double these?
Double those. It should go into neutral, and if you lift off, I'm hoping the neutral. Yeah, there you go. Park's on.
Okay,
that's us.
This was
fun.
A real treat, man. Thank you.
Why can't Brendan do this?
I mean,
no, it's great to hang out, mate. It's really
Powerful
cool.
bunch. Big up Solaces.
But does the Koenigsegg come with a Sirius XM sub?
Does it come with Apple Play? Or is it CarPlay? Whatever that fucking thing is, everyone's debating about. Yeah, big up Solaces.
You can afford it.
But dude, the way you're going, you'll be getting one of these next week. I'm sure.
Thanks,
I
man.
am sure, mate.
This was cool.
Killing it.
It was fun chatting with you about cars.
No,
too,
it's
bro.
wicked, man.
Do I just hit this again, or why does it do that?
Yeah, well, interestingly, even though it has handles, the door opener's that. So it opens with that. If you pull the door handle, it measures if there's a curb next to you and doesn't open. So, which is a bit odd. So
appreciate you, man.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
I gotta check in on you. Oh, watch your
Mind
back.
your back.
Him do that.
Whoa! Whoa! That's really close. Like really close.
Cool. There we go. There we have it. Tom Segura, the car guy. Tom Segura, the car guy. You get it? You get it. Cool. Let's move on. Tfatk time. Tfatk time. Tim Kennedy on Cybertruck Bomber Connection. This should be fun. Big up everybody tuning in. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. It's day 2. If you want to become a member, you know what to do. Link in the description. Give the membership. Get a membership. All that good shit. If not, like, subscribe, all that good shit. Get involved in the chat, all that good shit. Let's go. Tfatk watch along. Episode number 1097.
This is really the fighter and the kid. Come on, baby. The great Tim Kennedy is back. I sent out the Austin bat signal. You answered again, brother.
I love it. That's the best.
He's got nothing to do. He's got nothing to do. Hasn't he been excommunicated from his fucking Navy SEAL Marines fucking group for the stolen valor shit? For the lies in his book? He's probably got nothing to do. He's probably honoured, flattered, chuffed that he gets to sit down and pod. No one else wants to pod with him because he's a liar, allegedly.
Signal in Austin. Because it could be, hey, it's 3 o'clock. I need you to bring a shovel, a chainsaw, a full body paint suit. And I'm going to answer the call.
You'll be the guy.
I'll be the guy.
And I got to work.
It must be warm, innit? Brendan's, I wonder if we're always going to see this get up from Brendan. I wonder if this outfit is a reflection of how warm it is in that studio. Is Brendan going to be in the shortest shorts, the sleeveless of the sleeveless tops throughout the entirety of his tenure, of his time in Austin, Texas, because that fucking garage, that studio is just so warm. He can't wear anything else. I wonder if this is what we're going to get. Throughout the entirety of his time in Austin, he's just going to be wearing sleeveless shirts and really tiny shorts.
Work out with you a little bit of the taste of workouts you do yesterday. Is it Archetype boxing?
Yeah, Archetype.
Yeah, it was great.
Sean Apperson, Tyson Mendez, super great group of people.
A lot of savages in there.
Yeah, and it's a fun cross section. You have David Freeze. I mean, he has like I don't know how many championship rings in baseball as
a very good baseball player.
Very good baseball player. I don't know baseball very well.
Yeah.
I know you do.
I talked to him about it a little bit with T.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
I mean, I like saw a highlight where he hits a home run in a World Series.
Yeah, savage.
Oh, it's so cool.
And still in great shape.
Yeah. And there's maybe 10.
Question for the parents in the stream chat or anybody. Is it normal to refer to your child by their nickname all the time? Is it usually the opposite way? Don't you usually call your kid by their full name, but then people outside the home call them by their nickname? But you as a parent always refer to your kid by their full name, their full government. He's always, I mean, it's kind of interesting how he calls his kid by his nickname. Random observation.
And professional athletes?
Yeah.
Just
a
there?
lot of good people.
Just there?
And then also, one of the reasons I came is you're like, hey, there's like a kids kind of camp thing going on or class, right? So I brought T to go with your son and the rest of the kids, and dude, he loved it.
That's so fun.
He's supposed to be in baseball camp, but man, and the plan was to take him to baseball camp after that. He's like, Dad,
come on,
can I go to Tim's house? I was like, sure, bud. It's your day. Whatever you want.
He was awesome. Great kid. What a stud.
And then when we got done, he's like, Dad, listen, I know football and baseball is my thing, but I'm thinking about dropping one of them and doing boxing full time.
Yeah, big up Saddies.
When these guys go broke, they all become #1 dads.
Yeah, they're all about their fucking dads, innit? They're all about their fucking dads. Yeah, exactly. That's all they care about. Suddenly, it's like when somebody gets caught cheating, suddenly their wife is so interesting. Posting pictures of them on their stories, date night this, date night that, you know? Fucking hell, cringe. Big up Smash Mino, full name when you're in trouble. I'm convinced Chin will not move, but he's not confrontational to quit. He wants to be fired. Yo, no, it's cringe. I think Chin is so redacted and slow. I don't think he realizes how bad it is. I don't think so. I don't think he realizes how bad of a downgrade this is and how little it's going to do for his career. Like, he's not going to gain. Maybe I'm not right in this, but I don't know. I don't work in that world of production and AV sort of shit. But I would imagine his CV isn't going to be improved that much by working with Brendan in Austin in this shitty studio. He's probably got as much as he can out of it. His CV's already improved as much as it is because he's got a massive library of stuff he can show, like portfolio of what he's done. I think he set up a bunch of. I think they went from that old small Theo podcast studio in LA to that bigger one. He can use that, but I don't really think he can gain much out of his time working here. So he probably should have quit when they moved anyway. But I think he's not really thinking about it. I think he's comfortable, to be fair. Going through the motions. I don't think he's thinking about it at all.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Boxing is a supplement to the other sports. You're not dedicating your life to boxing.
Yeah, amen to that.
Isn't that kind of weird too? It's like, isn't he a child? Why can't he decide what sport he wants to do? Why is Brendan so involved in what sports his son does? I want to do boxing, Dad. I really like it. I had fun doing it in the gym. Brendan, no. We want you to be the next Otani. Remember, that's the plan. We want you to be a next Otani so your mum could have an unlimited Birkin bag budget. It's like, bro, like, if the kid enjoys boxing, let him box. When he gets bored, he go back to baseball. Brendan's like, nah, the plan is baseball. Like, very, very controlling.
I hammered, even in the car, I didn't even hear you say that, but you know, like all the boys, there's 4 of them. They're like, oh, this was fun. You're like, I'm so good. I can beat up anybody. And I was like, first read the room, as there's a bunch. You're in there, Tyson, Sean's in there, Shane's in there, and that's
men fighting, weights, working out. These guys, man, honestly, it's so one-dimensional, isn't it? So one-dimensional, their version of fucking masculinity, isn't it? Badass, gym, weight, tattoos, guns. So, all right, mate. All right, calm down, wind your neck in.
It's like good boxing, head movement, footwork, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. They're all superpowers and gymnastics for other sports.
Correct.
So, like, you guys are other sports athletes.
Correct.
But you're also going to be good at these.
Yeah.
Because you could be good at anything.
Yeah, T, as I was driving baseball camp today, he's like, Dad, my like arms are sore where they're usually not sore. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're using different muscles. This is good. I said, this will be good for baseball, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
Look how happy he is. Look at how happy he is. It's gonna be so heartbreaking when that kid maybe gets put off or stops doing sports because they get bored of it. Brendan puts a lot of his self-worth or funnels a lot of his own dreams, hopes, aspirations into that kid, innit? When it comes to sports and stuff, like, you don't really seem smart. He's so happy. He's like, it's like his little pet mini project, you know? It's like, bro, just enjoy that he's enjoying it, but it doesn't need to go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? It just could be a fun thing that he's doing for the time being. If he decides to not do sports at all and goes balls deep into fucking art and stuff, support him the same way, but I don't think he will. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but if that kid discovers fucking video games and, I don't know, fucking XQC, oof.
Good day.
And what's funny too is, I mean, T's been at the gym a bunch of times with me. I've held mitts for him a bunch, but he's never been in a gym like that, of that degree, and the dynamics of the gym.
9 years old. He's talking about a 9-year-old, by the way. He's talking about a 9-year-old. He's not talking about a teenage son. He's talking about a 9-year-old. It's such a weird... He's so involved. He's so obsessed. He's so... He's just doing too much, man. Because if this goes the way we think it's gonna go, he's gonna be super depressed. He's gonna be so moody if that kid decides, you know what, fuck this.
And there's this guy in there, and the gym I was going with is like, hey, we don't, like, to keep you safe, whatever that means, like, we don't know that guy. I know everybody else. He's like, but when we switch, maybe avoid that guy because he's an outlier. I was like, okay, cool. And then he goes with Shane, who we'll talk about. I love Shane. He goes with Shane, who's like your brother, right?
Yeah.
You guys look similar builds.
So he's my brother.
Both savages. Yeah, he's awesome. I went to lunch with that after. He's so cool. So this guy goes with Shane, and he's going super hard in the paint. And T's kind.
Observation. You can tell Brendan was kind of lonely in LA. Because you didn't really get these type of stories or things from him. He didn't really have many adult male friends outside of comedy. And once he quit stand-up comedy, or once Rogan moved and he fell out of favor, no one's ever stopped hanging around with him. So it's kind of sad to see him, you know, it's kind of, you know, whatever, that he's so excited to share this story in detail about how it was to be in a gym with all these other dudes who he's met up, you know, for dinner and probably exchanged fucking numbers with. To me, it's clear proof that he was very lonely in LA and was probably dying for a somewhat, you know, a friendship circle, a friendship group. Now he's kind of found it seems like.
Kind of seeing what's going on. I didn't say anything new, but I just wanted to see the dynamics. And then I see you go, hey, let's go, man. And I was like, oh, this is going to get good.
Yeah.
And notice, I stopped. I was just standing there like, you know, I went, and you're like, yeah, I got it. It's fine. Because there's, and I was explaining this to Tiger, like whenever a guy's going that hard, and we're just touch sparring. We're just working.
Yeah.
And this guy's going so hard in the paint chin. Like he's uppercut. I mean,
he was hitting him hard.
He was hoping like Dana would be like, dude, great technique. Here's a contract.
I know you're 46, but I'm gonna send you.
He's going hard in the paint. So Tim's like, nah, bud, that's not gonna fly over here. So Tim goes with him, and bro just absolutely made the humbled this gentleman. Humbled this gentleman.
Yeah.
And T was just like, Dad, Tim was mad. I'm like, no, Tim's not mad. Did you see Tim go with all the other guys? Did you see me go with all the other guys? Did you see any of the high-level guys do that? He's like, no. I'm like, most of those high-level guys aren't going to act that way. Yeah. It's usually the guy that didn't compete at a high level who's going to do that because of his ego.
I think a good gym, and it's one of the greatest things about pugilistic sports, is if there's errors, if there's ego, there's self-correcting problems within that safe space.
Correct.
So at my gym, Grace Humada Cedar Park, you know, the new guy is coming in, traveling in. It's a Tim Kennedy gym. Giancarlo Bodoni trains there. You know, Pat is there. Like, it's 40 black belts are in this gym. And, you know, you're rough to a white belt. You're rough to a smaller statured athlete. You're rough to a woman like, lo and behold, you know, the Jason Brown belt, who's 230 pounds, he's just waiting for his time to get his black belt. He's next for you.
You're going to pay the piper.
And it just happens. It just happens.
Stuff
Just like yesterday.
Out, yeah.
And it's, you know, even with the
Are they gonna suck? Are they gonna start sucking each other off? Is that what we're gonna start doing? Look at Brendan Smiles. Are they gonna start sucking each other off? Literally, like. Brown belt, jiu-jitsu, karate, kung fu, pow pow pow. My dick's so hard.
little kids, that stuff suffs itself out. Yeah. Those are self-correcting problems.
Yeah. That's why I love it. That's why I love sports.
Yeah.
Especially coming from LA, like T was in this.
Big up Assad Aziz. When I was 9, Becky Chew kissed me on the cheek. I think that's where I peaked. So if anyone can relate to Tiger, it's me. By the way, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. What the fuck's he doing, man? What the fuck is he doing? What the fuck is he doing right now? There's nothing Brendan's saying that would result or that would need this type of arm movement. Nothing he says, nothing he's gonna say, nothing he would say should warrant this level of hand movement. You know, like what is this? What is going on here? It's even better with it's even better on one half actually. It's better like that. It's actually better like that. Like what the fuck is going on right there? Like what is this? What the fuck is he doing right now? Somebody tell me.
Super how privileged area, and especially all those kids, and he thought these kids were cool, you know, because their parents had money and they did this, they went on these vacations. And I was like, buddy, sports is going to be the equalizer. That kid you think's cool, that doesn't work hard, doesn't train, wait till he plays sports. Yeah. He's not going to be as cool as you think, buddy.
Isn't that the wrong message? From what I can get from what he's trying to say, it seems like Brendan wasn't happy in LA with his kid hanging around with other rich kids, which is weird because it's Brendan's fault. Because he's the one that put his kid into a private school where the Kardashians' kids go to. So what did he expect? Of course it's going to be full of entitled, bratty, whatever kids, because that's where they go. But just because they're rich and bratty doesn't mean you're better than them because you play sports. If anything, maybe show them a different type of friend. Maybe he wasn't happy with them being their, you know, his kids' friends. Maybe he wanted his kids to have different influences and stuff, and not just be all about spending money and vacations. Fair, but I don't get this idea how his son is now better than those kids because he boxes and shit. It's like, huh? Like, you kind of spoil him yourself, don't you? That kid's got every single brand. He doesn't seem like he's wanting for anything. You know, his mum is always dressed to the nines. They have 1 million cars. So I don't know why he's acting as if like they live this very demure, you know, chilled out, laid back. Like they don't. He's very showy off anyway, Brendan himself. So this whole like being anti-rich kid thing is weird because he's literally a rich kid himself. His dad had a lot of money growing up. So what's the beef here?
Yeah, sure, you can't buy your way into grit. No. You can't buy your way in. You can spend all the money in the world. You can have the best glove. You can have the best bat. You can have the best lacrosse stick. You have the best, nicest boxing shorts and boxing gloves.
None of it matters.
None of that stuff matters.
None of it matters.
You know,
none of it matters. Yeah, T's buddy is, you know, his dad and mom billionaires.
Again, I can't understand why a mediocre athlete like Brendan has such a narrow, rigid view on athleticism or sports in general. For somebody that never really achieved much in sports because of maybe his ceiling in terms of talent, you think he'd be a little bit more understanding, a little bit more humble, would approach things a different way. But instead he's really narrow-minded, rigid, judgmental. It's strange, isn't it? It's like, bro, you didn't really do that. Like, you didn't really pull up any trees yourself athletically. Why are you being so demanding of everyone else around you?
Straight up billionaires. and he thought they would go over their house and was bragging about him. Okay, cool, dude. I know that kid's work ethic. Like, he started playing.
I'm playing sports you wouldn't understand with people you've never heard of. I'm different B.
Pick up Sad Aziz. Is this just him poorly articulating his point? Why is he upset that his kids were hanging out with kids who had parents who were billionaires when he was living behind a gate? Wasn't their house in the Hidden Hills? Wasn't it a mansion in fucking LA? Didn't their kids go to a very fancy private school? Isn't one of his best friends, Rogan, a legit billionaire himself? Aren't all his friends millionaires as well? Why is it an issue that his son has those friends, but he can have those friends? If you want your kid to have a normal upbringing, maybe don't, I don't know, have a house that's behind a massive gate that's on the fucking top of a mountain somewhere. You know, where you need fucking security to even go knock on the front door. Like, maybe don't do that. Maybe. I don't know. What a bizarre thing to get hung up on. Very bizarre.
Sports. Yeah. Sure enough, he was just like, oh man. I'm like, yeah, but money can't buy hard work, dude. Yeah. Like when we're training and he's playing video games, that's the equalizer, bud. He's not so cool now, is he?
No.
That's a weird logic. So the kid that's playing video games isn't as cool as his son because his son is playing sports. Brendan debating the merits of what's cool and what's not cool to his fucking 19-year-old girlfriend or whatever. I don't know what's going on there. Like, fascinating, truly fascinating. Brendan is.
No, the bunch of fascinating studies around the 10 people that you're surrounded with, you know, give or take 10%, that's going to be socioeconomically the next generation where they land.
Oh, wow.
And there's characteristics that, and I'm not trying to like curate or editorialize or manipulate who is around me, my family, and my kids.
No black people, no Mexicans, all white.
But I want people that have compassion and hard work and grit, you know, and have wisdom and understand being an entrepreneur and have failed, but now are, you know, like on a pretty.
So he only allows entrepreneurs to be around him. How about if you're a guy that just works a regular job? You can't hang around this guy if you work a regular job. You have to be an entrepreneur. Oh, so insufferable.
Pretty solid trajectory where, like, as the tide rises, so do all the ships.
Yep.
And I want my family to kind of be riding that. So we're really intentional about who's around
100%.
us.
And it's not a money thing. It's not a success thing. It's an experience thing.
Didn't he just say he wants entrepreneurs around him? Didn't he just say he wants entrepreneurs, business owners and shit? What? It's not a money thing. Of course it is. What the hell are you talking about? Come on. Yeah. What can you do?
Like a good quality person.
Yeah.
Like some of the best, I mean, my tribe in LA was these blue collar baseball dads, and T was around that. All of them worked their ass off to pay for their kid every weekend, going here, going there, private training, and just work their ass off.
Yeah.
And he was around that.
Man, like one of the, I think Chris Williamson said it. I think he was quoting somebody. I don't remember who he was quoting. Like one of the greatest superpowers that you can have is choosing your attitude and your mood.
Yep.
You know, like just choosing to be happy. Like anybody can be in a bad mood, but being happy and being in a good mood, even when you don't have things to make you happy,
Yep.
like that transcends.
That's a superpower.
It is.
Mind-blowing stuff, man. If you think you're happy, you might be happy. Mind-blowing shit. Mind-blowing shit. You can control your emotions with how you... what? Mind-blowing shit.
It is a superpower.
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Nope, won't do
Me
it.
either.
Nope.
It doesn't. Am I?
What? Me neither. He said me neither, right? Me neither. Me neither. What about this, mate? What about this? What about this? He said me neither, right? Me neither. I never get angry.
Some of you, especially the new viewers, you're probably tuning in. Oh, how's Brendan responding? So me getting emotional about that, I guess that makes me a big old pussy, which is weird. Every fucking day of the so I guess he needs to do this to stay current. I retired 15 years ago, man. That being said, that's social media. This isn't real. Because here's what's real. I will fuck you up. That's real. I'm not asking for this. I don't want to fuck him up. I'm not trying to fuck him up. End of the day, if he walked in right now, I said, Chin, Case, can you guys leave? Only one of us is going to walk out unscathed. And
unscathed. Legend.
Only one of us is going to walk out unscathed. And it's me.
By the way, you didn't need to say that. We know who you mean. You don't need to add, oh yeah, and it's me. We get the point. We get what you were trying to say. You didn't need to say, and it's me. And it's me, Brendan Peter Schaub. You know, you don't need to say the hook. Just in case we go confused. Just in case we weren't sure where he was going. And it's me.
Every fucking day of the week, 365 days a year, I will snap his fucking neck. I know. What's his fucking area code? 209? I know, 209. I get all that. Very cool.
He hates Nate Diaz so much. 209. That's some. I know. I don't think the last time I've done. The last time I did that, I might have been like 10. I saw in my life the last time I may have gone to somebody as an insult, I might have been 10 years old. So this guy doing this in his mid-40s is fucking hilarious.
None of that is real. Oh, but he did great against Donald Cerrone. Did you see him? Leon Edwards, dude, he's had some great fights, tough dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm 245 pounds. Trained black belt, top 10 UFC heavyweight in the world.
You're not a trained black belt, by the way. You got that black belt in the fakest way possible. You're not a trained black belt. You basically bought the black belt. You're not a trained black belt whatsoever. Still probably high level, but not trained black belt. I don't think so.
World at one point. I'm not out of shape. I'm a fucking beast when it comes down to, I know, I tell jokes, I do crazy shit, I made some mistakes. Oh, he got knocked out by Nogueira. Oh, he's into trucks. I get all that. Firing the kids, silly dude. I get all that. At the end of the day, the way this works, I'm not a civilian like the rest of his goons around him. I'm not this fake gangster. I don't go looking for fights. I know I'm tough. I don't have to get on Twitter and blast it out and prove it every day because I'm insecure because whatever shit he has going on with his childhood trauma. I don't have to do that.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, I will twist your fucking neck off. Ask your boys. There's many of guys that you fucks with, that I've rolled with. Ask them how it went. Go ahead and ask them. Very close guys to you. Ask them how it went, but.
Ask them.
That's real. This isn't real. And the difference between you and I, Nate, a million fucking.
He's about to cry. He's literally about to cry over a tweet. He was about to cry.
And things don't get me started. But the difference between you and I, if you start crying because your brother who has CT.
Is he insulting Nick? We hit USCT too.
The difference between you and I is if your brother, and Shane's a brother.
Big up,
Marathon stream back to 2 ago. Only one of us is gonna walk out of this unscathed. Oh, the UKO fashion. This is like a grasshopper versus a tiger in the tall grass. What are you gonna do us? Volume stream?
We could do volume streaming is fucking crazy. Pick up
If your actual fucking brother came out
and started getting emotional, or if you started coming out getting emotional about your...
By the way, Shane Carwin ain't your brother, bro. He doesn't like you. That's a funny thing. He was out here crying over Shane Carwin, and that guy doesn't like him.
Brothers, issues with CT and fighting and all this shit, because we know he has his issues, I would support you, even though you've been addicted to me the entire time. That's what I do. That's what men do, bud. I wouldn't bash you. And this whole narrative, your entire narrative, oh, fuck the man. Bud, you've been paid more than 99% of the fighters. Cut the bullshit. You're
fuck the man.
No different than Kobe Compton, this MAGA shit. It's all fake, bud. You're not fooling anybody. I've seen how the sausage is made. You're not tough to me. I know tough guys. Tough guys don't get on the internet and tweet at another grown fucking man who beat the shit out of them when they're crying or they're getting emotional because their friend of 20 fucking years is having major issues, suicidal thoughts. That's pussy. That's the difference between you and I. I'm not some moron who buys into your tough guy narrative, bud. I don't give a fuck you're from Sacramento.
Sacramento.
That's your biggest thing? That's it? That's the narrative? I know tough guys from Sacramento.
Sacramento?
What are you gonna do, Nate? What are you gonna do? Volume punch me, motherfucker? What are you gonna do, Nate? What are you gonna do? Volume punch me, motherfucker?
By the way, I never get angry. Remember that? I never get angry. I never get angry.
Have things to make you happy.
Yeah.
Like that transcends.
That's a superpower.
It is a superpower.
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Nope, won't do
Me
it.
either.
Nope.
It doesn't, and my wife can't understand it.
You can roll our truck on
Bad mood.
Nope, won't do
Me
it.
either.
Transcends.
That's a superpower.
It is a superpower.
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Nope, won't do
Me
it.
either.
Nope.
It doesn't, and my wife can't understand it.
You can roll.
My wife can't understand it. No, I'm never in a bad mood.
What are you gonna do, Nate? What are you gonna do? Volume punch me, motherfucker? That's what you're gonna do? What are you gonna do? Out grapple me? In what fucking sense? What world are you living in?
Never in a bad mood.
To make you happy.
Yeah.
Like that transcends.
That's a superpower.
It is a superpower.
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Nope, won't do
Me
it.
either.
Nope.
It doesn't, and my wife can't understand it.
My wife can understand it.
This is the real world. Now, if you're doing this because you fancy yourself a fisticuffs, if you fancy yourself, you want to actually grapple me, I'm not hard to get a hold of. Pull the fuck up.
That's the
Is to make you happy.
Yeah.
Like that transcends.
That's a superpower.
It is a superpower.
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
Nope, won't do
Me
it.
either.
Nope.
Me either. Never in a bad mood. Look at that face. he's fucking furious.
And you can show up with all your boys, do all that stuff. But what a real man will do is pull up one-on-one. I don't have a posse. I don't need one, bud. I'll drop my kid off at
What happens to the Rat Pack?
fucking practice, roll over, twist your fucking neck off, and then pick him up just in time unscathed with a Diet Coke.
Such a great crash out, honestly. Over a tweet, 5 words. 5 words. Holy shit.
I'll drop my kid off at fucking practice, roll over, twist your fucking neck off, and then pick him up just in time unscathed with a Diet Coke.
I'm never angry, by the way. I'm never angry.
It doesn't, and my wife can't understand it.
You can roll our truck on the beach, right? I can like I was working on that Land Cruiser and made a couple of really big, expensive, costly mistakes. Really embarrassing too, because like I thought I could do it, couldn't do it. Yeah, and you know, but it's like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
fine.
good. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah, I'm good.
You know,
I'm good. Yeah, even I mean, I flipped my TRX, go super viral. Everyone's making fun of me, and my wife was like, I could tell she was like walking on eggshells the next morning. She's like, "You're good." I'm like, "It's just a truck."
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
There's definitely worse things to get worried about. Like I'm good, man. And I think for my son too. Like, dude, I just got my TRX done. Carbon fiber body. It took all this work, and they painted it, and this thing is mint. And we're pulling out, and this metal gate hits right where I got it done. And T knows how much I love that truck, and he loves that truck. It's his favorite. And he was like in tears. He's like, "Oh my God." I was like, buddy, it's just a truck. And we luckily have the means to get it figured out, to get it fixed. We're fine. And because he was going to a game. And he's like, "Yeah, where are we?" I go, "Buddy, I don't want you worrying about this at all. Do I seem worried?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Then you definitely shouldn't be worried." You know? So it's like, dude, it's all good. And my wife, she's like, "I don't get it. You were just born this way." I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. Like, if you've seen that meme where everything's on fire around him and just goes, "It's fine.
It's fine.
That's
Everything's
me,
fine."
Yeah, it's all good, dude.
Yeah, but like that, with hard work, everything that I think we want is on the far side of hard work, you know, and being able to do the work ultimately comes from this mental position. And I can do hard things with joy.
Yeah.
You know, matter of fact, I think the more that you do them, this morning, I was not thrilled about seeing the program of the workout on these ski ergs and row ergs today. Especially as a 5'11" athlete, as I'm looking at a bunch of rowers that are like 6'1", 6'2", monsters. And it was like a heartbeat of like, "Oh, this is going to suck."
Anyone that overuses the term athlete to describe them doing a fucking WOD, doing a fucking workout in the gym, cringe, bath. I'm surrounded by people like that. Athlete. I'm an athlete. Are you though? Are you though? Because you snatch, because you power clean, because you fucking row, because you do push-ups and are you really an athlete or you just work out? Like, let's relax a little bit. Let's relax.
Immediately to sick.
But you never show it. Like even yesterday, some of that kind of sucked. And for me, that's the first time I've done a workout like that. But I'm with you and Shane, and no one's like, "Oh God," like you guys are just cool. So I'm like, I'm good. They're good. I'm good.
But it's just like immediately, it's gonna suck. I got people that are gonna do it, that are gonna enjoy the suffering with me, and
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And let's talk about your friend Shane.
Oh, I love this guy,
buddy.
Yeah.
So you had to get going. You took T and the boys to, I think they got yogurt or something. And then they went to your gym, right?
Frozen yogurt.
Yeah, frozen yogurt. Yeah, which he loved. And then they go to your gym. So it's just me and Shane and the gentleman who owns the archery company.
Yeah, Tyler.
He's awesome, too.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know these guys at all.
His business partners are Evan Hafer, that owns Black Rifle Coffee.
Cam Haynes and Joe Rogan.
Cameron Haynes and Joe Rogan. Dude drives his Ford truck.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You know?
We were talking about the whole business. We had a lot of similar stuff when it comes to the business side of things. So me and him were going back and forth. And then just talking to Shane, he's just such a good dude.
Yeah. Business side of stuff. What kind of stuff? What kind of business side of stuff? Scam car giveaways.
And you guys are, I can tell why you guys are so close, like just talking to him. And it's so funny, dude. Because especially for the listeners, you hear Brian talking about flying the helicopters all the time. Shane's the one flying them, so I feel a lot better about it. Yeah. So Shane, I go, "Where do you live, man?" And he tells me, I don't know the lay of the land, but I figure I'm going to go about 20 minutes away, 25 minutes. He's like, "No, by car?" And I go, "Yeah, by car, dude." And he goes, was it like 2.5 hours or something like that?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. And I go, "Damn, you live out there." He goes, "Yeah, but it's like a 15-minute helicopter ride." And I was like, "What?" He's like,
15 minutes in his commuter helicopter.
Yeah.
But if he like hops in his
big boy?
Yeah, the big boy, the turbine one, it's just like, he's there in 9 minutes.
Yeah. So it's just, he's the Bruce Wayne of Texas, basically.
Yeah. He is one bad event away from becoming Batman.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, yeah, for real, dude.
Smart enough, wealthy enough, and like just
And has the
pray.
skill set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just pray that nothing happens to his wife or kids.
Right.
Because
He's the next fucking Batman. Yeah, he was just, and me and him were talking for a while, and he's not a gearhead, but he's, I guess you call it a helicopter head.
Mm.
So there's a lot of similarities when we're talking about like the fuel and stuff like that. And it was amazing, man. Amazing.
Yeah, he's, so when I got here to Austin.
Which is what year?
I moved in 2012.
Way before it was the cool thing to do.
Yeah. Wife came here like a year ahead. I was still in and out of the military, doing a little bit of contracting stuff. So, and then she had taken a job with Dell, which is here in Austin.
And that's what brought you here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was going to be able to live anywhere. I was going to be a professional athlete. So I'm just training. This is when the Army is like, hey, we found out that you've been fighting on the side.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure this is going to work.
I thought he was going to say, hey, we found out you've been lying. I thought he was going to say, we found out you've been lying. By the way, we're only 13 minutes in, you know. This is fucking torturous. God almighty.
Yep.
So they let me become a guardsman, a National Guard soldier, like a part-time soldier. And then I was going to be a full-time athlete.
So you could pursue the UFC.
Yeah. And when I get here, I'm on a big win streak, and lots of people are coming and wanting to hang out and train, and they're fair time friends, fair weather friends. We're talking about one of the greatest gifts is going through something hard and really learning who your friends are. And at this time, everybody wanted to sponsor me. Everybody like, oh, this guy's the next champion. He's like a lot of momentum.
You had a lot of buzz.
And it was hard to figure out who were my actual friends. And Shane comes in and we do this Rooney barbell complex. And there's, 8 or 9 guys there to work out with us. And it's terrible. It's 135 pound barbell, 5 deadlifts, 5 bent over rows, 5 hang cleans, 5 push press, 5 front squat, 5 backs. No, I'm sorry. It's 1 of everything. 1 deadlift, 1 bent over row, 1 hang clean, 1 push press.
But heavier weight?
No, at 145.
I oftentimes get bored of myself and the amount of times that I talk about my workouts and shit, or the content that I post on my social media of my workouts, and I just like post tiny things. It's not even that substantial, and most of the stuff that I do, I don't even post about it. But these guys are like going on and on and on about this shit in exhaustive detail, as if it's the most interesting thing in the world when it isn't. They really think it's a big accomplishment that they exercise. They really think it's this like Herculean task, accomplishment that they exercised. It's like, it's not that deep, bro. It really isn't. Not everyone's impressed by it. Not everyone cares. It might be impressive to you, but it's like, God damn it, man. Really? We're going to describe the entire WOD. We're going to name every workout that we did in exhaustive detail. Really?
Okay. And then it's 2 of everything.
Okay.
And then 3 of everything.
Oh, wow.
Up to 10.
Oh, wow.
And then back down to 1.
That's a lot.
Yeah, at 145.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Or 135. And so it was horrible. About 40 minutes of work after we had already done a whole bunch of stuff. And nobody came back the next day but Shane. And then Shane was training, going shooting with me, all the things. I didn't know that he was Shane Steiner, from Steiner Ranch. And then a UFC comes to town.
Powerful bunch.
Everybody's like,
Big up.
But us, you're also not doing 5 deadlifts, 5 upright rows, 5 shoulder presses, 5 Turkish get-ups, and 5 squats.
No, actually, it's 1. Oh, fucking no.
like, hey, can you get me tickets? I think Yves Edwards was fighting here in Austin, and he was a local. It was really cool. And then Shane comes up. He's like, hey, the fight's this weekend. I'm like, oh, here it is.
Yeah, here we go.
Like, can I get you front row seats or whatever? And he's like, my family has a box. And if you don't want to deal with the people, if you want to come up and hide out for a little bit, we'll just be up top and you're more than welcome to come
That's cool.
to us. I was like, that's cool. He wasn't offering to like brag.
Yeah.
He was offering
to help.
To be like an act of service.
Yep.
And I was like,
oh, you're a real one. Like, oh, I found one.
You're legit.
Yeah.
And then like the first time that like I hit something hard, you know, first dude to call and be like, hey, let's go hop on the boat. Let's, and it's such a priceless thing to get a peek behind the curtain to find out who those friends are. And he had come from similar circumstances where he didn't know who his friends were. He didn't know, you know, who wanted to be near or close to him for whatever reason. And then he had done a lot of living, a lot of mistakes when he was country music star.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like Pablo Escobar and him run for who had more cocaine on a given night.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
You know,
some wild boys.
Yeah, totally super wild.
Yeah.
And so all that living now, there's a lot of experience. And we were talking about his beautiful daughters and his beautiful wife, being able to hand some of that experience off to that next generation of like, you know, I've been down this road.
Yes.
You're like, I know where this goes.
Yeah, he was built for it. Especially his daughter wants to be a singer.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, who better than you to show her the ropes, especially in the world we live in now. All right, kids, let's take a little break from the fighter and the fighter with my man.
We might have to pause it there, mate. We might have to pause it there. That is fucking brutal. What a brutal show. Like, somebody mentioned the other day, like, it's almost like I'm praying for Brian Callen to come back. I can't wait for him to come back. Like, God almighty, so excruciatingly, mind-numbingly boring. Like, imagine getting stuck with these guys at the bar. Imagine getting stuck with these guys at the bar. Just imagine. Anyway, let's switch over. Let's switch over for now. Let's pause this now. I'll switch over to American Redact. American Redact's got a new video about David Lucas. American Redact. David Lucas exposes himself on Kill Tony. Let's talk about that one because Jesus Christ. Brandon boring me out here. Let's go.
So on the latest episode of Kill Tony, David Lucas proved to us yet again that he's not only a creepy guy.
Allegedly, that girl in the middle didn't say a single word. I think that's what people are saying. I think she said like 5 words the entire show. Whoever that lady was in the middle. She might have been really nervous, but yeah, she did not say much.
But a downright terrible comedian as well. Because when it was time to do the roasting that he's known for, the guy who sells Roast God merch never really did any roasting. He couldn't even go back and forth with the bucket pulls. Like when he told this random bucket pull that he wanted to bang his girlfriend, he basically just sat there in silence when the guy clapped back at him. Then he refused to turn it into a roast battle after getting owned.
Your girlfriend is in England.
Yeah, she goes to a different country.
What bar does she work at in England?
I don't fucking know.
Because I go there in 2 weeks. I want to fuck her.
Oh, you're too big.
Too big?
Nah.
No, yeah, for sure.
You look gay.
Uh-oh.
I can take your girl.
Wow, got real here for a second. David looked a man in the eyes and said, I'm going to fuck your girlfriend.
She ain't never had stomach on her forehead. I'm going to show her what it's about.
You got to fit through the door first.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
This is not turned into a roast battle. I don't know what y'all...
Oh, my God.
No, I don't want it to be there. I love you.
You see, the craziest part about David Lucas is that he actually believes that he's this ultra smooth, cool guy chick magnet that girls can't...
Jesus Christ, bro. How'd you get that size? Like, what do you eat to get that? Like God almighty, bro. Where do you find clothes? Like, fucking hell. Those fucking camping chairs must be made out of adamantium, by the way. They must make some sturdy camping chairs, you know? Because how the yeah. Interesting.
Get enough of, which leads him to say stuff like this. In reality, though, he's just another sex pest lurking around the mothership, and at this point he should be...
I love the term sex pest. I love the term sex pest. It's so insulting, derogatory. It kind of says exactly what it means, you know? Sex pest.
behind bars for the stuff he's admitted to doing. Let's not forget how he openly confessed to putting his girlfriend into a John Jones-style guillotine until he TKO'd her unconscious.
I used to be a crazy boyfriend, bro. I used to be like one of them little jealous niggas. And she was taking a shower when she was about to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you about to go out and be a hoe, this, that, and the other. I was like, I might as well just stop fucking with your ass. And then she said something like,
hey, big up Uche, Wagwan Uche, Wagwan Princess, Wagwan Queen. Big up Black American looking like a Medea cousin. Yeah, exactly, Brian. That's a strong trade. Uche, my friend died when I call a dude a sex pest. Big up Josie, sugar and potatoes, wash it down. How do you get as big? How did somebody get as big as David Lucas? Sugar and potatoes and wash it down with sugar. Oof, that's a hell of a diet, bro. Sugar and potatoes. Or sugar covered potatoes. Deep fried sugar covered. Somebody must be, someone makes that, innit, right? Let's see. Someone makes that, right? Deep fried sugar covered potatoes. Is that a thing? Someone make that. Is that a thing? Yeah, see? There we go. They're Danish. Danish people make cinnamon flavored potatoes. Wow. It's a Danish dish. Fucking hell. There we go. Here, right? Some there. Fucking, that's some big back shit, innit? That is some pure, unbridled, big back shit. Deep fried sugar potatoes. That is insane. No, I'm not talking about sweet potatoes. I'm talking about regular potatoes that have been deep fried and covered in sugar. That's what I mean. Not sweet potatoes. Deep fried potatoes. Regular baby tomato potatoes or something. Sliced in half. Covered in whatever seasoning you want. Covered in batter. Or some sort of cornstarch or something. Deep fried and then covered in fucking sugar. Too much for me. Too much for me. Let's go back to the thing. Where is he? There you
go. I was like, yeah, I was talking shit like, yeah, you gonna miss this dick. And she was like, I can always suck another. Or something like it set me off, and I grabbed that bitch from behind her neck, bro. And that bitch, I choked her, dog, and she passed out. She passed out of my arm in literally like 5 or 6 seconds.
What the fuck? He shared this story on the podcast and he's still on To Kill Tony. That he assaulted one of his ex-girlfriends. Choked them unconscious because she said she's going to suck another dick. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Scared.
Oh my gosh.
I was so scared. I thought
was that in the shower?
She was drying off.
Drying off?
Yeah, bro. She collapsed him on. That was scary as a bitch, bro.
What'd you do?
As soon as she hit the ground, she woke back up. I started crying.
Did you drop?
As soon as she hit the ground, did he drop her on the floor, John Jones style? Did he choke her and then just release the choke and let her drop, John Jones style or something? What a psycho.
Or you sort of set her on the ground.
Bro, I literally, like, imagine you talking to somebody,
yeah,
and before you know, they just pass out.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared to catch a body.
Right.
To catch her falling body.
Literally and figuratively.
Man, listen, bro. When she fell to the ground and she woke up, she was like, what happened?
What'd you say? You slipped in the bathtub?
I told her that she was yelling and then she just fell out.
What did she say? How'd she take that?
She believed it.
So this is the type of guy we're dealing with.
That girl's either really dumb or this is a made up story. You know? She's either really dumb or this is a completely made up story. To make him sound like a badass or something. I'm not buying this.
Dealing with, okay? He literally refers to himself as a gorilla pimp in this podcast while bragging about pulling WWE moves on women all the time.
Bitch, you fucking with a pimp. You expect to get cheated on. Gorilla pimps ain't no joke, bro.
What is a gorilla pimp? Just like a strong pimp?
Yeah, like that means he just choking hoes. I bitch.
To death?
To the brink of death. To the brink of death. That bitch will see the light, then I bring her back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
get your ass up, bitch.
And so, whenever David's around women, things get really weird. Because he clearly has strange thoughts about them that have warped his entire reality. And so before we continue with more clips from that Kill Tony episode, I wanted to show you a clip that actually shows this delusional perspective in real time. And if you haven't seen it already, basically David exposed himself after he posted a video in London, England, saying that all the girls there were ugly, and that he's a 20 out of 10 in the UK.
yeah, boy, I can see why America wanted to become America, boy. You wake up and see a bitch that look like this every morning with that brown teeth and the food, nigga, I would have separated too.
Brown teeth is hilarious.
Shout out to 1776, all these basic face ass bitches. The ugliest people in the world reside in London. I am a 20 over here.
No, Mr. Scratch and Sniff, you are not a 20 out of 10 there, let alone anywhere on this planet. So of course after posting that, he got utterly destroyed in his comment section. Because despite the fact that he calls himself a comedian, it's very obvious that when he talks this way, he's being 100% serious, and he just masks it with the cadence and delivery of a joke. But anyways, getting back to the Kill Tony episode, it's been a while since David Lucas has made a...
That's a forehead, isn't it? That's a fucking forehead, look. It nearly fits the entire length of the screen. Look at that. Or the height of the screen. That's a fucking forehead. Look, there's some distance, there's some clearance there, isn't it? There's some fucking clearance on that forehead. Look at that. That's a size.
A guest appearance on the show, with his last one being from fall of 2023. He's also been mostly quiet this year when it came to podcast appearances or specials, which happened almost...
Wow. His last appearance before the most recent one was 2023. So has he been benched from Kill Tony or something? What's happened there? Was he doing his own show? That's a long time for him not to do a Kill Tony. For someone that was promoted and pushed and made on Kill Tony, essentially. His last one before the recent one was 2023. That's kind of crazy.
Almost directly after getting destroyed by the likes of The Elephant Graveyard, Too Lazy to Try, and Mike David from Red Bar. So since then, he's went on this little hiatus into the shadows. And you might be wondering, what is David Lucas doing on this little break of his? Well, apparently, he befriended...
The AI of him is fucking...
What is David Lucas doing on this little break of his?
The AI of him is fucking so mean.
Well, apparently, he befriended this guy, his local dealer, who made an appearance on this show as a bucket pull that night. And so when this guy's doing his interview, it's kind of clear that David is ashamed to be friends with this guy, because as you'll see shortly, this guy is also a scumbag, with all his jokes revolving around him being a deadbeat, alcoholic dad.
You're doing good. You're doing
Thank
good.
you.
David Lucas.
Man, it's crazy. Rudy is actually a friend of mine. I know him very well.
Yeah, I'm his plug.
And he...
I sell him Coke, but Ozempic's not working in it right now, so...
Jesus Christ. This guy's funny. This guy's funny. The plug is actually really funny. The fucking methed out, coked out, twitchy plug is very funny. Looks like he's permanently sweating as well. Maybe he's on a couple of mollies. He looks like he's got this permanent sheen all over him.
Rudy get me all the snack foods before they come out in stores.
Shouts out on my vatos.
No, but Rudy is actually a really horrible father. The night he had his...
Tell him about it.
Bro, we're taking shots. And he's like, oh yeah, my baby was just born. And I'm like, today? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, nigga, go be a fucking father. You got that chick in the hospital by herself while you here taking shots,
I got a dream I got to chase. She knows, yeah.
Did you go hang out with your newborn kid after that?
Yeah, of course.
So you did shots with David Lucas, and then you went and hung out with
I went straight to the hospital. I had to get fucked up to watch that shit. That shit was just a little wild.
But you didn't even watch it. The kid came out when you were drinking with David, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like holding him and shit. Yeah.
Oh. You had to get drunk to look your baby in the eyes.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I was not ready for that.
Yes. I see very clearly why you and David get along so well.
In the fridge.
This guy also admitted to crashing his car with David Lucas while under the influence.
Jesus
Which I thought
Christ.
was pretty funny because David hated that guy brought it up and was visibly embarrassed to even be in the same conversation as him.
So you're not drinking as much as you used to drink.
Yeah, I chilled out. Yeah, I still drink, though. I get fucked up.
Give us an example of a time recently in which you've gotten fucked up.
Oh, I crashed my car with David. I mean, not with David, but...
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you say that?
What do you ask me? I gotta be honest.
David,
That's what
put
this
the
show's about,
microphone
Mike.
down. Tell me the whole story. Let's go.
Yeah.
David was with you?
Yeah, David is my best friend. Love this
Yes,
guy.
he was.
So this, ladies and gents, is what David Lucas does on his average night.
He's my best friend. Fucking hell. So 2 days to try. Comedy Enforcement. And who else was it? Elephant Graveyard. Big up my nigga Elephant Graveyard. They all drove him to fucking drugs and alcohol. I wonder if Elephant Graveyard feels guilty. Elephant Graveyard's brilliant video dissecting and breaking down, tearing apart, exposing David Lucas drove him to befriend a coke dealer who's also an alcoholic and a deadbeat dad. I wonder if he feels guilty. Elephant Graveyard's video was so good. He drove fucking David Lucas to drinking and fucking drugs. Absolutely hilarious.
He rolls around in the shadows with guys that look like low-level criminals in the opening scenes of a Batman movie. And honestly, after everything that he exposed about himself last year, it's not shocking that he's doing this now. I mean, you really couldn't torture me into admitting some of the stuff he said and did in those podcasts. Like when he said women enjoy being R-worded to a fellow female comedian in a podcast episode that was actually never released to the public.
You know,
I'll never get along with David Lucas.
you won't get along with him. Why not?
He did our podcast and he just said the dumbest shit ever.
What did he say?
He said that 8 out of 10 women are come when they are raped or something like 80%.
Is it fair to assume any man who brings up these type of topics or who says these type of things to another, it's one thing if you share these type of dicey statistics or interesting quote unquote facts with your fellow niggas or your mandem, but it's something completely different if you do said thing or if you say said thing to a woman. If a guy does do that, as a woman, you probably have to run. Any guy that brings up that sort of stuff to another woman, in a weird way, I feel like when you're bringing that up, you're kind of trying to be flirty. You think you're gonna, you know what I mean? I think so. This is a weird, men are just strange. But I have a feeling that guys who do believe in those statistics about women being turned on when they get R-worded and shit, and women actually liking to get bounded, what these dumb shit, right? I think some guys think it's actually a decent seduction technique or something. It's like they've got good riz. But I think if anything, it's just a sign. It's just a fucking warning sign to anybody out there that this guy is very dangerous. This guy is very dangerous. So if you're a woman or man or anything, you probably should run far away as possible for somebody that kind of thinks or espouses those type of thoughts.
Percent of women come when they're raped. And me and Ian
Did
were
he
like,
read that, or is that his research?
Yeah, more of an admission.
right. And me and Ian just lost our minds. We just roasted the shit out of him.
Where does
We're
that
like,
come
"Are you
from?
kid-"
Where does that come from?
He said it was a
Fear.
statistic he found, and we roast him until.
Can we see what the statistic of how
It's
many women
5
come? First of all, 80% of women don't come.
Exactly.
Period.
That's why
that-
it's so
much less when
funny.
they rape. I'm sure there are. I know there are rape comers.
The word is.
They're out there.
Is that the statistic was that there's like 5 out of 10 have a physical reaction, which is like, yeah, if you stick something in me a whole bunch, I'm gonna get wet.
So they get wet.
Yeah.
During the
But to come, and we just
50%
roast
get
him,
wet.
and then he made us delete.
That would be my biggest fucking
And
defense.
black guys hate getting wet.
Wait, you
I
deleted the
bet
episode?
Well, he was like, yo, I talked to my lawyer and he said we shouldn't actually put that part in. And we were just like, then we're deleting the whole thing because that was the only funny part because he
Wow.
just sits there and says nothing. I think his
What a
comedy
great
is.
lawyer. So again, this is the type of guy we're dealing with here, all right? And no, he's not a shock comic. When it comes to the topic of women, he's sharing his personal beliefs. And as many other comedians do, he masks these beliefs with the cadence and delivery of a joke. So to people that don't know who he is, it sounds like it's a joke, but he's not joking, guys.
But what happened to this guy? Where's he gone? Is he still making content? This dude, I forgot his name. He's hanging out with Adam22. Is he still around? Is he in prison or something? Where's this guy? I feel like I haven't seen him in ages. I forgot his name.
Guys. But now all we have left to do is wait for the UK episode to drop, since word on the street is that it was quite possibly the worst Kill Tony episode.
Danny Mullen. Okay, forgot about him as well, yeah. Where is he, Danny Mullen? Where the fuck is he?
Of all time. So I'm really looking forward to that and diving into it. But with that being said, that is it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Kind of cute.
Me? You're saying this
Little
about your mom.
earring.
I'm
You're
17.
older than 17.
I promise I'm 17.
Let me see.
I
Let me see your ID.
put so much effort into that shit and you won't even smell it.
Let me rub your back.
You won't even smell it.
Let me rub your back.
Why you touch-
Get real nice and close like we're in prison. Sit that little pale booty down.
I can't even be a predator if that's what you're alluding to.
No, Game of Thrones. What is you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
Because I thought you were trying to.
You on some weird
I
shit.
showed you a predator.
I'm not a predator.
No, for sure.
Skip the question, bro. We ain't even finna entertain that bullshit you talking about right now, because I got children, and that's a very sensitive
Double
topic.
prostate?
Yeah. I'll put my hand in my ass and make you smell it, bitch. Come here, nigga. Put that shit in your face now.
Ew.
You want to smell it, nigga?
No.
You still gonna smell this ass. I ain't took no shower and I'm straight off a plane. Boy, this shit. You gotta scratch the ass. Scratch the ass so you can smell it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyways, people, we're going to pause there. We're going to pause it right there. We're going to leave it right there. We're going to pause it, leave it right there, people. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be back again tomorrow for another episode of The Random Show. We'll finish up all the topics hopefully on a Friday. Try and get the most of it done. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? So, yeah, let me try. I want to try to start properly early on Friday. Let's see if I can do it. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. So try and start as early as possible on Friday to get rid of some of these topics because there's so much to go through. But yeah, big up everybody. Appreciate you. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Join, become a member. Try hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. Let's see if we can do it. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? So big up everybody tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Check out Taz, clips up going on there. I'm uploading clips as I go along on here too. Timestamps will also be added on later too. So please keep an eye out for that one. Obviously join the Discord too if you like. That's a good little place for people to hang out and chat shit. Hang out in the fucking stream chat, all that good shit, you know? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of you. So yeah, see you soon. See you tomorrow. Not soon, actually. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay? Cool. More Tfatk fun. More fucking Tim Kennedy, Brendan exercise talk. Are you looking forward to it? Are you looking forward to it? Are you looking forward to it? You right there. Are you looking forward to it? Fucking hell. Alright, cool. See you later, guys. See ya. Actually, you know what I might do? If I have time, I might actually go through that Tim Kennedy episode, see if there's any decent clips, and then I'll clip those out so we don't have to watch the whole thing because it's fucking excruciatingly boring. So if I've got time, I might actually do you guys a favor, do you guys a solid and not bore you to tits, and actually clip anything that's clippable out of that episode. Alright? I might do that. I might fucking do that. Taz tomorrow, my dear Black American. Taz tomorrow before Random Show. There'll be a Taz. So keep an ear open for that one, alright? See ya tomorrow. Big up everybody. Cheers. See you later. Peace.